And now, After Party Hangover presents The Tripod Sessions. Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I'm your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Welcome to episode 40. Now, every 10 episodes, I like to try and do something a little different. Maybe a new logo, maybe a new theme song. Well, this time, it's going to be a new format. Now, we are going to try the Tripod Sessions. And in the Tripod Sessions of the After Party Hangover, I will have with me two of the After Party Hangover favorites. The second leg of this tripod, the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of APPW. He's done with the fuck shit and the absolute fuckery of it all. Julius _ceizar. As well as the final leg of the tripod, he is the leader of Gaviti Adadat. He's young. He's Jewy. He has his own podcast as well. He is the greatest Brettzky 99. What is going on, guys?
Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, just hanging out.
You guys ready to...
I'm watching Frank Thomas try to sell me eugenics right now.
That old fuck.
Oh, man. Well, we got a ton of shit to get to, but let's get the incredibly depressing stuff out of the way first. Rest in peace, Shad Gaspard. Since the last time we talked, a lot of stuff happened. And recently, I believe it was Sunday, Shad and his son and a group of people were swimming out in the ocean down there, and riptide pulled him away or something. And first responders showed up, and Shad told them to save his kid first, and they did. But unfortunately, Shad got pulled under, and they eventually found his body on Wednesday morning on Venice Beach. I wanted to ask you guys, what are your favorite memories of Shad back in the day in WWE or otherwise?
Crime Time was always hilarious. I can't really think of a match that stood out. But I know they were, Shad and JTG, one quick, one powerful. They always seemed comfortable on the mic and talking trash and stealing stuff. Though, I mean, I like those guys. They were entertainment for what they were when they were out. But that's pretty much all I remember from them. And then, random things you see here and there online.
Brett?
Yeah, I mean, I missed really the Crime Time era. So I don't really have any specific memories of matches. Like I haven't really sought any primetime matches to watch back. I mean, I might now, but really, like all I guess remember is like I've seen a lot the clips like of backstage segments of like them helping Cena destroy JBL's limo. Mm-hmm. I think it was, and also like them backstage with DX where Shawn Michaels tried to talk gangster to them. Something like that, or Triple H, and they're like, "Oh, what the hell is this guy doing?" Other than that, like, everything I've heard about them is like they're great people, great guys, and it's kind of it's just a shame.
Well, my memory of Shad, I have a couple. Is Shad the Crime Time the reason why Vince McMahon dropped the N-word on SmackDown?
No, that was Booker T. No, John Cena.
Was it Booker T?
No, that was John Cena.
Oh, John Cena.
John Cena and Booker T was there because Booker T said, "Tell me he didn't just say that."
Okay.
It was Booker T. But no, that was when John Cena had the belt, maybe? Or it was when John Cena went face. So he might have had the belt. And then I remember Vince coming up and he's like, "John Cena, what's good in the hood?" He's like, "What's going on, my nigga?" And then Cena kind of just had this look on his face, and Booker T was like, "Tell me he did not just say that."
Oh my God, the shit that man has gotten away with.
That definitely wasn't a scripted thing, by the way. That was definitely just like some guy had a camera during the regular backstage
Yeah,
interaction.
that's how Vince talks everyday life. He's just like, hey, I see John Cena. I'm gonna talk black because he raps and he's got a jersey on. What's good in the hood?
Oh man, our truth is probably getting all kinds of bullshit in his ear right now.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know for sure Shad was the one to turn heel on JTG, and they attempted a singles run with Shad that did not turn out well. But it was kind of hard to imagine him as a heel because he was trying to be all intimidating and badass, which he did look it. But there was just something about him that did not seem heel. I'm sorry to say that he did not last in the WWE very long, 4 years, but they were always entertaining on the screen. And according to all the friends, I heard Matt Morgan on his podcast talking about how he was just the best person on earth, and they were like brothers, and it was hard. It was this as this year goes on, it just keeps getting worse and worse. But rest in peace, Shad. Um, Shout out to Shad and his family. I believe Zanka posted a link where you can buy a shirt in memory of Shad, and the proceeds go to his family. So I'll probably pick one up if they have triple, double, double, XXXL.
Make a pounder size.
Hell yeah. I asked Zanka the same question, by the way. I asked him if he had any memories I could share with you guys, and he sent me this. Zanka said he shot me a message a while back about a meme I made that was probably rated R, and he wrote something to the effect of, "You're wrong for this. You funny as hell, but you wrong for this." I thought that was pretty cool.
He just seems like a really he just seemed like a really chill, down to earth, funny, nice guy, and it's a real shame. Like I didn't even realize how young he was until I saw the the official poster thing that WWE had where it was 81 to 2020, and I was like, holy shit! Like I knew he was young, but I didn't realize it wasn't even 40 yet.
Yeah, he was gone
crazy.
way too soon. Speaking of gone way too soon, Dark Side of the Ring season finale was about Owen Hart and his death in the infamous Over the Edge pay-per-view in 1999. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I know Brettzky has a couple controversial views on this. Who wants to go first?
I mean, it depends, man. You want the controversy first, and we can discuss it, or you just want to talk about it first?
Okay, I've been dying to know what Brettzky has to say because I have something to say too. But go for it, Brett.
Okay, so you guys can still hear me, right? Okay, I just want to make sure because I got to go into my notes app. So I have two, in terms of controversial thoughts, I really have two main takeaways from it. So I'm just going to read those word for word pretty much. And I know that people like Sam, I saw his post about it, are going to be very upset at me. But this is just my opinion. And it's probably because I'm a business student. So I look at a lot of things from a business aspect over a morality aspect in a way, if you understand.
Hold on a second. Brettzky's thoughts and views are not the views of the after party.
Don't be no bitch, Mangria. Don't be no bitch. Be a tripod. Don't be no bitch.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, well, you guys are going down with me.
I already wrote my name down. I'm co-signing like shit.
I'll go for it, Brett. Sorry about that.
So it's probably no good. It's probably just the way I look at things. But so I have two takeaways. The first one is you can't judge Vince McMahon or the company as a whole based just on the episode of Dark Side of the Ring because it doesn't give the other side of the argument. You can hear any argument from one's perspective, especially when it's as emotional and heated as this argument. And it's going to be very compelling, but you can't just hear one side and make a decision or determination just based on that. You need both sides, because for all we know, they mentioned that Owen didn't die right away when he hit the ring. How he still even though he was pretty much gone, he was still muttering things as he went out. For all we know, he could have said something to the effect. Again, if anything proves me wrong, then I apologize. I just haven't done enough research then. But for all we know, Owen could have said something to the effect of, the show must go on, or You know, maybe the wrestlers who are still going to be out on that card, you know, told Vince, you know, or told someone like, listen, we want to go out because we need to get our minds off of this for at least a little bit, you know, something like that. You know, something like traumatic like that just happened. Like, it was wrong for them to leave the ring like that. Absolutely. I understand why they left the ring like that, because it's a crime scene. You can't tamper with it, but they still had the wrestlers wrestle on it. So that is definitely wrong, and that should not have happened. They should not have kept the same ring. But you can't at all judge Vince or WWE as an aggregate just based on this episode, because you don't have, you know, one of those sit down interviews with Vince McMahon or any of these executives that were there at the time to give their reasoning as to why this stuff happened. Do you want me to say the second thing now, or do you want to
go for it.
Unpack that? Okay. So the next one's about Owen going into the Hall of Fame. And in terms of the argument against putting him in the Hall of Fame that the family was arguing, I understand where they're coming from, because, I mean, obviously, like, you know, they had, you know, their dad or their husband died at doing this thing. Why should he then be immortalized in the company that let this happen? But I disagree with the idea, and I think he should get put into the WWE Hall of Fame, because I remember, if I remember correctly, the argument, at least by his wife, is that if he goes into the Hall of Fame, then he'll then only be remembered, or solely be remembered, for being a wrestler. But that's not true at all. You know, like, DDP's in the Hall of Fame, and I don't only think of him as the wrestler. I think, oh yeah, he's also like the entrepreneur who has the DDP yoga, you know, other stuff like that. Just because you go into the Hall of Fame doesn't mean that you will only be remembered and your legacy is only that of a wrestler. It lets his legacy, what it does, him in the Hall of Fame, lets his legacy be forever etched in the minds of wrestling
fans. I want to support your argument. They put Warrior in the Hall of Fame, and I'm pretty sure that Warrior's wife is thankful that they're going to think of him as just a wrestler instead of what he did other than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, nothing he, like, they have the Owen Hart Foundation, and that's a beautiful foundation, and all the props in the world to them for setting up that foundation. And from everything that this episode showed, Owen Hart looks like one of the best guys in the world, you know, salt of the earth, and everything like that. But, like, for me personally, especially coming into this as a younger wrestling fan, I don't see a lot of the matches of these older guys, you know, that go into the Hall of Fame. But it'll open my eyes to these things. Or, like, I wouldn't necessarily watch, you know, some old NWO matches, but then, you know, I heard, oh, NWO's going to Hall of Fame? Oh, check them out. What were they all about? It lets a younger generation of wrestling fans discover Owen Hart, and it lets an older generation of wrestling fans that watched him remember Owen Hart, and it lets his legacy grow. At least in my opinion, it lets it grow even more, to where it says, listen, not only was he this phenomenal guy, he was this phenomenal athlete, and he's being recognized in this one category where it really gave him his fame. Without wrestling, you don't know if Owen Hart is as famous as he is. They mentioned that at his funeral, they had to, like, they superseded the capacity. They had to have amplifiers and speakers so that people outside could hear. You know, even though he's the same person, without wrestling, you don't know if he touches that as many people's lives as he does. Wrestling gave him that platform in many people's lives, and I just feel, at least in my point of view, putting him in the Hall of Fame doesn't make his legacy all about wrestling, but it honors the man and honors the wrestler that was able to touch so many lives.
Wow, somebody lit a fire under brettzky.
I'm saying,
Ceizar, what you got to say?
I mean, let me see. If I honestly think about it, you can kind of argue both points. That some say he deserves. He's been, all right. Maybe he never really got over in the first Attitude Era because he didn't want to, you know, do all that dumb shit that they were talking about. But he made it work. He made it work enough to keep around to where they brought back his original character, and then he was getting over being like this super dickish hero. Like, I remember this pay-per-view. I watched it live. I remember watching this pay-per-view and watching the Raw after. Now, granted, when I say that, the first thing that pops to mind is That next night on Monday Night Raw, it was supposed to be the Godfather and the Road Dogg, and they got in the ring, and you could tell Godfather was all fucked up. He's really supposed to wrestle Owen Hart, and then now they're having an Owen Hart tribute show, and Road Dogg literally got in the ring, and they were about to tie up, and he grabbed the mic. He did his whole stick. He grabbed the mic, and he said, "Hey, man, forget this. Let's go burn one and tell some Owen stories." And so I don't know whether that was planned or not, but if it was not, if that was a shoot, if Vince was like, yo, just go out there and do something. Because I don't think really anybody had a match. Everybody was telling the stories. But the fact that they wanted to go out there in the ring and do that, and the Godfather agreed to do that, because like that's what the Blue Blazer was fighting for. I mean, I feel like, yeah, sometimes when you think about something or you say something, bad memories can come up. So if you put him in the Hall of Fame, everybody's going to think about that pay-per-view or whatever. And then, yeah, the family can be mad. I mean, he died not on their watch, on somebody else's watch. So why would they want to associate their fond memories they have and new, like you said, Brettzky, new people finding him out? Why would they want their new association with this guy in the Hall of Fame because he died in the ring? When they want to have it to where like people who have seen him know him because he's a dope wrestler. He's one of the best king of the rings. Remember, he used to walk around those two slammies all the time. Yeah. And they made him announce him like that. Two slammy every time. He was one of the first people to yell at the announcer, like treat the announcer as another prop in the show.
Well, he's king of the Black Hearts, right?
King of the Black Hearts. And then he would always make the announcer yell 2-time Slammy Award winning Owen Hart. And if they didn't say it, he was one of those people who used to yell it at the announcer for not getting it right or not saying it exactly right like he wanted to. So I remember all that stuff too. And I remember his great matches. Now, I don't remember that WrestleMania 10 match with Brett. That's probably awesome. I'm probably going to go back and watch that just because that's the show, though. That's bringing it back to me. So, yeah, there's an argument for both sides. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, what are you going to do, though? What are you going to do? To the family, they feel jaded. They feel salty about it. And to the fans, they want to, remember him forever.
What age do you think Vince McMahon's going to get to fuck it mode when he just says fuck it and inducts the Blue Blazer and never says it's Owen?
It's going to be like he's going to be told, listen, Vince, you have like 2 months left to live. And it's going to be like, you know what? Benoit, you know what? Owen Hart.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of already there. Like, well, I mean, Triple H is calling some of these guys who had like legit beef and hate WWE, and he got them to come back, and then Vince inducted him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, So I don't know. I think he's softening in his senile age. He's probably stubborn as shit, but he's softening to be like, yo, I don't need to carry this hate with me for these fuckers. Let's try to do some good in the world before I get out this bitch. So I don't know.
Well, I did take some notes on my thoughts of this. Well, I was watching it and I wrote $18 million settlement. I had no idea that's the settlement. I didn't know much about this because 1999 I was still horny as fuck and not paying that much attention to wrestling as I used to. But I had no idea it was an $18 million settlement for Martha.
That's a lot of money for like what? 20 years ago. That's a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And what else was funny was the press conference when Vince McMahon was sitting there and the lady asked him a question.
Oh, that
he goes, first of all, I resent your tone.
Yeah, he's like, I resent your tone. What do you mean you resent my tone? I'm asking you a question. He's like, but
you know who he reminded me of when he acted like that?
MJF?
Trump. He hella reminded me of Trump, like being a dick like that.
Yeah.
That was hella funny. I was like, well, this dude's being all dramatic for no reason.
Right, but he doesn't have to have this press conference. Like, you could still, I guess he's thinking as a reporter, you should be professional and not be emotional. Yes, look, dead ass. A man has died, okay? A man is dead and gone off the planet. That is tragic. That is fucked up. That is however you want to call it. But if you're going to try to say you're a professional and you didn't personally know him, like, you really can't bring feelings into it, can you?
You can't.
I don't remember the question. Go for it.
This pissed me the fuck off because, like, a lot of this pissed me off. But like, especially because because I was so removed from it because I wasn't alive then, and like, whatever it is. But like, before they showed Vince's response, I legit thought to myself, wow, that's a kind of pissy way to word that question and to ask it. Like, from all accounts, Vince and Owen Hart got along great, and apparently, because Owen was apparently like, you know, the prankster. Everyone in the locker room loved him. By all accounts, Vince loved him. The guy just lost. The guy just witnessed a man fall to his death, have him be wheeled past him on a stretcher, blue in the face. He lost one of their future top stars, and someone who, by all accounts, was close to them and was someone that he loved. And you're going to ask him a question like that? Like, other than taking away the fact that in reporting you should always be professional and not have that kind of snatchy tone, that was just uncalled for. That pissed me the fuck off. And those are my thoughts.
Also, the harness clip that was attached to him could only hold 6 pounds of weight. Holy shit, what a fuck up. It was a jabroni.
Was it 6 pounds of weight?
I think that's what it said.
I don't think it was 6.
I thought it was more. I thought it was like 60 or something.
Yeah, it wasn't 6.
I know it wasn't enough for his weight, but I do know it was more than 6.
Oh, because I just watched it, and it's on my DVR. I could double check that, but they said that
I don't think anyone could be that nincompoopish to be like, oh, 6 pounds, that big fucking guy. Yeah,
it was a jabroni crew that sucked at their job that put him in the harness and had him fall like that. Also, Jim Cornette getting emotional was strange to see. I guess he really hit home with him as well. You're always used to seeing him throw F-bombs and be all pissed off all the time. It was really rare seeing him recalling this and getting emotional like D'Lo was as well. And then my last note, we already went over this. Martha will never allow Owen in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he's going in the APPW Hall of Fame, so take that, Martha.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
We are approaching 25 minutes, so I'm going to go over a quick subject real quick. We thought that Brettzky's angel was in the centerfold. Turned out to be a fake. Ceizar, who would you want to see have an OnlyFans page, and would you pay for it?
I mean, the only people I really want to see is porn stars, and yeah.
But you get to see them for free.
Exactly. I'm not paying for somebody I know. I would probably try to blackmail it and be like, hey, girl, why are you secretly making this OnlyFans? Let your boy get an inside peek.
What about you, Brettzky?
Jesus, like, yeah, that's a very broad topic. I mean, I get it broad, but yeah, like, I guess, like, you know, Scarlett Bordeaux.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'd probably end up paying for that too.
Yeah, but she's making a lot of money for doing nothing, so her jank would be expensive.
And then Ceizar will be like, take screenshots and send it to the chat.
I would just say take screenshots and post them online somewhere, get some money.
Yeah,
get your money back first, and then post it to the chat, or at least tell us what site you sent it to.
Okay, before I get... my choice would be Layla. I miss her from...
wow.
Michelle McCool and Layla. Layla was my favorite.
Yeah, that's good eating right there.
I'll just end it here then and restart because it's already 26 minutes and I don't want it to cut off on us.
Hey, before you end it, I would just like to apologize if I pissed anyone off with my controversial opinions. You know,
he's gonna edit this part out.
If you don't agree with if you don't agree with my opinions, then you know it's easier to talk about it than text about it. But you know, if you don't agree with it, you know, DM me. I'll be happy to talk about it. So you know, there you go.
Yeah, this will be the most controversial after party hangover of all time.
Bringing it for 40.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you guys. We'll be right back with part 2. Welcome to part 2, where we're going to discuss the returning Still Real After Party, episode 119, Butt Drugs. Were you guys happy that the boys were back in town?
Yeah. Anytime I get to kill a couple hours listening to 2 idiots talk, then one of them's not me about wrestling, then I'm always happy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I kind of forgot about it. Then I got the update. I got the post notification, and I saw it was for questions, and got pretty excited.
Yeah, Jake didn't really definitely say there was going to be one, so I saw it as well, and I had to think of something on the spot. That's why my questions weren't very creative at all. As a matter of fact, my question actually weaved into the entire podcast because this was a very food-centric pod where they talked about weird food combinations. Brettzky, as a Jew, do you eat anything weird?
I like the phrasing on that one.
Yeah, are you trying to say all Jewy food is weird?
What kind of weird Jewish grub do you snack on? No.
I think he got a promo about this on APPW, to be honest. I think he had shit in his pantry.
I did.
Oh, that's right.
That was my leftover Passover food that I don't eat. I mean, if I had to say it's not Jewish, but the weirdest thing I've ever eaten is fried butter. Because I was taking a road trip to Chicago, and on the way back we passed through Columbus, and the Ohio State Fair was in town. So my family and I were like, all right, so we'll just stop by, and I found a booth, and they're like, hey, we have fried butter, and I'm like, well, I'm never gonna come back to Ohio because why the fuck would I ever go back to Ohio? So I might as well, and that thing fucking exploded in my mouth. It's like a hot pocket with hot liquid butter inside of it. It was good.
Jeez.
But if I eat one more of those in my life, I will have a heart attack. I'm
not hyping up Ohio, but all the crazy chicks are from Ohio. This is a fact I know. I know a lot of Ohio chicks. They are all crazy, and I'm talking batshit crazy. So that snapper is fresh and kicking. I'm just saying. Saying. If you're not trying to get in a serious relationship, you just want to have some fun, Brettzky, find the girls at your school that come from Ohio. Just saying, bro.
Ceizar's life tips.
So Ceizar's weird food combination is 2 Ohio chicks pies.
I don't even know if you can handle that, bro. They might cut you halfway through. you might not finish.
Jeez. Do you have any weird food?
My weird food is just black people shit. I've tried chitlins.
Oh wait. Let me properly ask. Hey Ceizar, is there any weird black foods that you eat over there?
Yeah. Them I like to call them field delicacies. Certain people of color made us eat for 400 years. So yeah, a bunch of
tea going on there.
I've definitely tried a few. I am not a fan. Your boy is not a fan. I am cityfied. All right, I am not countryfied. I'm countryfied to a little bit, but yeah, I can't do it. I tried it once, and I was like, never again.
Well, I eat and look like a fucking pregnant lady. So I eat pickles and cheese.
Yeah, I can't do it. Just pickles and cheese?
I like pickles and I like cheese, but...
Yeah, but on a sandwich.
Well, if you eat them separately, if you pair a dill pickle with sharp cheddar, chef's kiss.
Jesus Christ.
That's essentially just dick cheese, though.
Yes,
that's right. I want me some dick cheese so I can fart.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Well, speaking of food, and my question was, what kind of appetizers do you order at restaurants? Is there any popular appetizer that you two are huge fans of when you order at a restaurant?
So mozzarella sticks. So there's this restaurant down here, and they have this drink that they make. People come down there. It's a tourist trap restaurant, and they make amazing cheese sticks, but back in the day when we were drunk, they make them handmade. So it's like a lot of cheese. We used to call them cheese dicks because they were so large. Seriously, if Jake went down there, he probably wouldn't eat one. They're huge. All right. So we used to call them cheese dicks. We used to yo man, we're trying to go Waterman's get some cheese dicks. Fuck yeah, bitch. I got the first round. That was a typical conversation on a Friday night. In the streets, as we like to say. So I'm a big fan of cheese sticks, yes.
If they had butter dicks, you think Brettzky would want to chomp down on one?
Hey,
He'd have been out there too. He'd have been out there too, chomping away,
hey.
dipping them in sauce.
First of all, I was a different man back then.
So now you got back in the closet? Jesus Christ.
He got in the pantry. He got back in the pantry.
I got back in the
pantry. With the Snyders.
Oh, yes.
No, not until I'm 21, ceizar. No, but I first of all, I hope that those cheese sticks you're talking about spurted with some cheese. But
yes, they did.
The second,
yes, they did.
I gotta agree. Not with the cheese dicks part, but just some good homemade mozzarella sticks are just perfect. That and some nice marinara sauce, perfect.
You know, even if you get the shittiest mozzarella stick, it's still edible. Like, you can't really fuck up a mozzarella stick.
True.
I will say though, I do have a friend who I was across the hall from me when back on campus, and it was so funny seeing his reaction the first time they served mozzarella sticks, because he looked at it and he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, Jesus Christ!
He's like, "You can't fry mozzarella; it would just melt."
No, bitch, you don't know.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, he saw color. He saw color for the first time when he ate that shit, didn't he?
Jesus. Well, we always learn something new about Zanka every podcast. And of course, this podcast, we got some new facts. For one, Zanka reveals that he jerked it with hand sanitizer and it hurt. What weird stuff have you guys used to jerk it?
My right hand instead of the left? That's about it.
I will counter that with my left hand instead of the right.
All right. So I wrote that question on Facebook, and that was the opening discussion into the podcast. Now we all know Zanka does not read questions first.
Yeah.
Say the same thing for Jake?
No, Jake reads everything.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was about to say. I mean, it was literally like the podcast was on. He was like, "Hey, drive through strip clubs." And I was like, "Huh, I wonder why they would be talking about my question and the opening thing." Because I literally specifically wrote it on Facebook for drive through strip clubs. So, all right. I figured, but just wanted to clarify for people.
I'll be the first to admit that I have jerked it with shampoo, and that was bad times.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was not good.
Why would it be?
I don't know. You know, when you're growing up, you use all kinds of different shit, like fucking.
No, I don't.
No, man. I'm not doing my man's like that.
Baby oil.
I guess it
hand lotion. Use everything.
Well, hand lotion is acceptable.
Hand lotion is acceptable. It is skin.
But do not get married to the lotion is a life lesson that I learned, because if you can learn to dry jerk, you can jerk it anywhere.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
That's going on my tombstone.
No, good quote.
Zanka got laid at Pamela Smart's house.
Yep.
Are you guys familiar with this case?
No. Sounds like some white people shit. So, I was out.
I'll tell you the cliff notes. It just said, I looked it up on Wikipedia just for a little bit. It said that in 1990, a 23-year-old Pamela Smart and her 15-year-old lover,
Jesus Christ,
and 3 of his friends killed her husband in his house. And apparently Zanka has visited there and has squirted in that very house.
Did all 4 get to bang Pamela?
They better
have to imagine.
I'm saying you got to bang the dudes who helped kill your husband if you wanted to.
Listen, you never know. It could have just been like, maybe the husband was into like extreme cuckolding. I don't know.
Oh, right. But getting cuckolded by a 15-year-old, you can't take that. No man's ego can take that.
Bad times at the Smart house.
I guess so.
That wasn't very smart of him.
It was very dumb. They were very dumb.
I do know that the 4 boys are men now. They are free, but Pamela Smart got a life sentence for what she did.
Yeah,
sounds like I'm going to be making a conjugal visit soon, boys.
Oh, yeah. That Jake's got to be good. I mean, you're willing to kill somebody for it? That's got to be some fire.
Well, I mean, also they were 15, so they don't really know what good pussy is.
You are correct. Circle gets a square.
Since Ceizar is the one who put it in his questions, I'm gonna have him explain it to us. I just wrote one thing.
Okay.
Drive-through strip clubs. Jake called them drive-by whackings, which got a pop out of me. Ceizar, would you please elaborate on this fantastical idea of drive-through strip clubs?
So a local strip joint around these pots. It was definitely a skit, which I think is funny. I can send you guys the link afterwards if you want. It's on Facebook or Instagram. So either way, I'll find it. I can send it to you. So what they did was like you pull up like just like a drive-through. You pull up into the parking lot, and there's stations built around like platform stations, and they opened all the windows into the club. And so you give the girl your money. So let's say I think it's like a predetermined thing, like you $75, right? $75. You get like 60 in ones. You get two bottles of water, some wings, and like a beer. Because technically you're on their property. I think you maybe get 2 beers or 2 drinks or something like that. Because you're on their property. And then you basically just drive. They designed a path for you to follow. And you basically just drive around. So the girls are just shaking it, you know. You pretty much just let off the gas, touch the brake slightly. The girls are just shaking it. And they're close enough to the car so you can throw the money at them and they can still get it. The part about I think the hashtag I wrote about they'll jerk it with sanitizer, like they'll jump in the back seat. That was just like a joke. They're not getting in your car because, it's Rona times. I mean, they might if you pay them. Who knows? But you basically just you follow the obstacle course of the girls just shaking it, and by the end, there's a couple trash cans. You throw the food away, throw the water bottles away, the napkins in case you were jerking it in the car. You're out of money, so you just go home. It takes about 20 minutes. That's what they said. A good 20 or 30 minutes, and then you're good to go.
You said this was a skit, right?
Well, I mean, it is definitely a skit. They knew everybody who was up there. They just made it look like there was a bunch of cars, but they did have all the girls dancing in like lingerie because they put it on Facebook. I mean, you can't have like naked ass titties out in the street on Facebook.
I was gonna say we all have our vices.
Yeah.
But if you're that addicted to strip clubs,
Yeah,
you gotta fucking pull around the corner, for a drive-through strip club.
Yeah.
You need some help. We got to get your friends together, get an intervention.
Definitely. I mean, you should have a phone with battery. You can look up anything on the internet. But yeah, if you got to see a live action like that, I mean, hey, yeah, you
know what a man's got to do. What a man's got to do.
I'm just saying, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Brettzky, if this Corona shit never goes away, and your buddies, you're about to get married, and your buddies are like, bachelor party, bro, and they pull up to this drive-through strip club in the van, are you going to be having a good time, or are you going to be like, dude, let's just go home?
In a fucking van?
Windowless.
We're going to pull up to a fucking, like, Dancers R Us in a white tinted window van? No, that's how we get that. That's how we get them to come into the car with us.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, if it's like for a bachelor party, it's like it's a memorable bachelor party. It's like 20 years down the line. It's like, hey, remember that time we went to a drive-through strip club the night before you got married? Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like for the just because it's funny and also it is still some kind of form of action. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but like it wouldn't be like my first choice of things to do when I wake up.
Well, I have one more question for you two. What would you rather pay $10 for? A titty or a hamburger?
Oh.
I mean, a $10.
Is it like one? Is it one titty or is it both?
One titty.
One titty? But like, this has got to be like a thick burger, though, right? It's a $10 hamburger.
I'm already picking hamburger. I don't give a fuck what you guys say.
Like a $10 hamburger has to be a really good hamburger.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah, with the fries
Like
and
I'm not
included.
giving $10 to McDonald's for like a Big Mac. Like
Yeah. No, wait, hold on. You can't say fries and drink included because now you're just talking like Chick-fil-A prices. Not to say Chick-fil-A isn't good, but I thought you meant like the hamburger a la carte is like $9.99.
yeah,
Well,
that's
if
what
it's
I
gonna
thought.
be $9.99 hamburger, it's gotta be from like a really good
That's what I'm
restaurant.
thinking. A really good hamburger.
Yeah, I'm getting that fucking hamburger.
You can
Isn't it?
spend $10 at McDonald's getting a Big Mac supersize combo.
Let me try to swerve this. Then. What if
Isaiah swerve?
what if you get to squeeze the titty and flick the nipple once?
I'm still getting the hamburger.
Yeah, if it's a $9.99 hamburger, I'm still getting the hamburger.
What if the girl whips her titty out and serves you the burger for $20?
Well, then yeah, that's the
I'll take
best of
that.
both worlds. Of course, you want both.
I mean,
I
I'd
just thought
rather
that
there
was-
be a little bit of a discount. That's pretty steep, but like, you know.
I love their hypothetical questions on this podcast.
It's steep for a titty, but
Yeah, for
I
like
would want that
80.
hamburger for $10. If it's just a hamburger, I'd want the hamburger for $10.
But like, you're also forgetting it's one tit. It's not two.
Yeah, it's not the pair.
They also had another hypothetical question that was very confusing to me. Zanka, of course, with his randomness said, would you rather make out a dude or suck a dude's cock? And they both pick suck a dude's cock because they don't want stubble in their face.
But there would be pubes,
What
though.
the fuck were they smoking?
Not
Yeah, what-
necessarily. If they're, well, that's you could say that for both sides though. They could be clean shaven.
Yeah.
They said it's way more personal swap and spit than having a dude's dick in your mouth with their balls hitting your chin and whatever's coming out
Well,
of the dick.
they said
That's
well,
what
they said nothing about finishing.
That's true.
They said nothing about finishing.
I didn't say nothing about finishing. I'm just saying in
Dude,
general.
you just said dude leaking out of it, leaking into your mouth.
You did not say
of
that.
course, when you're getting your dick sucked, pre-cum comes out. ceizar, come on now.
Boy.
God damn it, Mangria. You didn't say for how long.
How about 3 sucks?
3 sucks. So you could literally go pop, 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 and that's it. That's it.
I'm still picking making out. There's no way a dick. Sucking dick isn't a part-time gig. You suck a dick, you gay.
You make out with a dude, you gay.
Yeah.
It looks better on the resume than sucking dick.
I'm not putting any of that shit on my resume unless I'm doing a large job.
That's why it's a hypothetical question.
I'll give Lars a call, see what he thinks.
Oh man, poor Lars. Is he under contract still?
Yes,
Who
he
knows?
is.
Who knows at this point?
AE
feel like
dub.
we asked
AE
that.
dub.
Coming out in an A&W shirt.
No, it's he's going to NWA. It's gonna be Lars versus Scott Steiner.
Nice.
Oh. What are your guys' thoughts on Betty White and the Golden Girls show?
I mean, it's Golden Girls. It's a classic, I guess.
Was it one of your favorites? Did you watch it back in the day? Do you still watch it?
I don't still watch it. I haven't watched Golden Girls in years, in decades.
Brettzky, this was before your time, but they do have Nick at Night, I think. Have you caught up on some Golden Girls?
I watched it back with I have no fucking clue. I mean, I've heard of Golden Girls, and I've heard of Betty White, and Betty White is.
Old as fuck.
I don't give a shit what Ronda Rousey says. Betty White is the baddest woman on the planet.
Yeah.
Anything that has Betty White in it gets my respect.
This is the second Golden Girls conversation I've been in today,
Holy shit.
and they're literally almost 12 hours apart.
Damn.
What do you think? What do you think the odds are that there is a porn version of it called Golden Shower?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there's
Definitely.
gotta be.
There's at least 6.
Yeah.
Zanka's in it.
R. Kelly's in one of them. He's the black guy that comes. Oh, there is.
Oh.
No, he's in the first one, and then he starts off in the second one, and he gets arrested halfway through.
Yeah.
Now, I was a fat couch potato kid back in the day. I caught the Golden Girls every now and then, but I mainly watched like fucking Salute Your Shorts, Wild and Crazy Kids,
Nice.
and remember Small Wonder, that little fucking girl that was a robot.
That's a fucking terrible name.
Yeah.
It was all terrible, man. We didn't have that many choices as we do now.
Small Wonder.
Right.
Facts.
That's
It was
Jake's
pretty
Micro
ridiculous.
Penis Band's first song.
Nice.
Zanka also gave Gavidi Adadot a shout out because he didn't know what it meant or what it actually how it was pronounced. He thought it was sexy like Gal Gadot. What'd you think of that, Brett?
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is that I messaged him because like we talked to Mangria about about whatever it was, and I messaged him about it, and all he replied with was a GIF of a white dude saying "No habla español."
Nice.
So
nice.
So
that's our Zanka.
I mean, it's Zanka. I can't say mad.
Oh, wait. So you say GIF instead of GIF?
Yeah, I say GIF.
I thought it was GIF.
This is an age-old Instagram question. We would need a whole, not even Instagram. This is an age-old internet question. We would probably need.
This is a chicken and the egg.
This would be a whole. Just talking about words that sound like what? How do you say? Because you say data or data?
Data.
See, that's what I'm saying. The world always turns.
This is more controversial than the Owen Harts.
This was very. We could probably spend hours debating this because I see those tweets where it's like I don't know much, but I know if you say, and you can hear it in your head even though it's just written down. It was like if you say like data over data, you're the fucking problem and you need to die. But then other people are probably reading it. If you say data over data, like you're the fucking problem and you need to die.
So everyone dies.
Is the dress blue or gold?
I'm just saying.
Oh, fuck that.
Do you dip your fries or do you pour the ketchup over top of them? I'm just saying.
Oh, don't you dare say you pour the ketchup over top.
You dip.
It depends on my mood. It literally depends on my mood. I've done both.
The only time you pour anything over fries is when you're getting poutine. That's the only time you put anything on top of fries.
No, sometimes you got to put ketchup on top of the fries.
Oh God,
no!
Sometimes
that's it. I'm resurrecting Owen.
You ain't got no powers. You ain't Undertaker.
Resurrect Benoit. What are you talking about? Why would you use Owen?
Okay, Benoit first.
Well, no. Technically, Eddie first, then Benoit, because we have to keep Benoit in check.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because he could go for Ceizar, then like with no Eddie, he just goes after everyone else.
I'm just saying.
Well, since we're coming up on minute 25, I do want to give Ceizar props. The hashtag champion always and forever with the hashtag bullet holes and glory holes is all a player knows. That got a pop out of me, man. Thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, Jake was talking about that house with bully holes in it, and then I think Zanka literally followed it or Brettzky might have followed it. Like, did you try to put your dick in them? And he was like, they were too small.
All righty, guys. That's the end of part 2. We will be back with part 3.
That's how we die. Elemental light in a flash of light. In your glow, it's time. Light the fuse, bring the boom. Dynamite. All that's not made dead. New that's not made best. The one feelings of data being read about everything unsaid. Yours does not mean mine. Guilt does not mean die.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover Wednesday review show. My co-pilots, of course, Julius, Ceizar, and the great Brettzky 99 help me break down this Wednesday night of wrestling. We will kick it off with NXT. Brettzky just freshly finished this, so he should have his first reactions. We kick it off with the memorial for Shad Gaspard. I thought that was really cool of them to do that. I heard that they're going to do something on SmackDown as well. Then we get Fall and Pray, Karrion Kross and Scarlett with their overly dramatic but kind of cool theatrical entrance to murder somebody named Liam. I only know that because it said it on his pants. I don't remember them saying his name. What did you guys think of this?
Hold on, I'm trying to find my notes in my notebook. I got a new notebook just in case we do continue these tripod sessions. But like a dumbass, I was drunk last night and wrote it from the back instead of the front. I don't know, man. Don't judge my life. All right, don't judge my life. Basically, I wrote down why are they doing this opener again for another squash match, not on a pay-per-view. I thought they would have this. It was kind of shorter, but yeah, I still think it's a little overly dramatic for NXT every week.
A very short squash match. Brettzky, what did you think of the 3 suplexes and the cross jacket for the win?
That first suplex looked like it hurt a lot, and I cringed when I watched that because he looked whatever this guy's name was. I think his name is like Liam Gray or something like that. I think they said he looked like he landed right on his neck, and that looked painful. But I do think I actually kind of disagree and agree at the same time with ceizar. I think that the shorter entrance is fine. But I do think they should bust it out less and less so it doesn't get watered down. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind them doing squash matches in this scenario because A, it works to make someone look like a badass still, and B, it's intertwined with.
Oh no, I'm fine with a squash match. I'm not fine that this entrance took longer than that match.
No, yeah, no, that's what I was talking. I was talking about the entrance.
Yeah.
With in terms of what I was talking about with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could come out and she could still like be around, but they need to find like a quicker version to do this. Like now, when In Your House comes around, they need to do it like his original NXT. Like let's amp up the smoke budget because let's get the smoke out there because that's what he's about pretty much with the entrance, and then let's do the long entrance. But yeah, he needs a quicker thing for NXT.
Undertaker's old ass is gone. We can use his.
Well, I mean, yeah, he only comes around once a year, so that smoke budget had to gain some money.
And of course, Tommaso Ciampa comes out to the surprise of Karrion and Scarlett and sets up Ciampa versus Cross for NXT Takeover in Your House. Well, we'll make predictions in the future, but who do you think has the upper hand right now?
Well, I mean, I guess you got to go. Well, Karrion definitely has the upper hand because he knocked out Ciampa on TV. So Ciampa's got to get an upper hand somehow before. I mean, I guess when is this? Like 2 weeks? So Ciampa's got to get an upper hand, I guess, next week.
I think it's the first weekend of June.
Okay.
Is June 6th or 7th. Those.
Yeah, sure.
Brettzky, who do you believe has the edge, and who do you think? Who are you going to be rooting for?
I think that Ciampa will and should do the job for Karrion Kross because it would just be pointless to have him do all these dramatic entrances, whatever, just have him lose. The only way I can see him losing is like via the most devastating maneuver other than the rear naked choke, which is the roll up. So I think that as of now, I agree with ceizar. I think that Karrion Kross has the edge only because he's been competing and also he knocked like fucking Ciampa's lights out. So in that sense, I do think Kross has the upper hand. But promo wise, Ciampa's promo where he's like, by the way, I'm gonna get you. I think promo wise, Ciampa has more ground than he's being given credit for.
I gotta say, I'm calling it right now. Scarlett fuck shit at the pay-per-view, scratches Tommaso's eyes or something. Karrion does his, what is it called? The cross jacket for the win, takeover. I believe that will happen. But as far as...
I mean, definitely, because if you notice, like, she invited him into the ring, and he kind of looked at her.
Yeah, I love that.
Like she had the smile on her face, and she sat on the rope to invite him into the ring with no kind of fuck shit, whatever. And he looked at it funny, so he actually played it right because he kind of like paused. He didn't talk until he got all the way in, and then came face to face. She's like inviting him in, and so I do believe the fuck shit will happen from Scarlett at the pay-per-view.
Most definitely. After the Cruiserweight recap and a commercial, we get Phantasma versus Tozawa. What did you guys think of this fast-paced Cruiserweight matchup between a Mexican and an Asian?
So apparently it was a lot of fun, but I was a little lit. I don't know if you guys remember the commercials, but I just wanted to know, was it a Progressive commercial right after this bit ended?
I think so.
Because when the one where she slaps the Paperboy's newspaper, he gives them the Matoma. Yes, oh my God, I die every time. I die every single time. I literally wrote this down because I laughed at it so hard. Sorry, wrestling, but not wrestling. But I literally wrote this down.
There's a really entertaining commercial later on about that golf show. Did you see that?
Oh,
What
bro,
Yes.
the fuck was that?
bro,
Wipeout.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch that trash. Like, oh my god, I cannot wait.
Holy moly!
Oh no. Holy moly. Yeah, it's Steph Curry produced it or something.
Something like that.
God, I was so weak there because she slapped it twice in the commercial. I was dead ass weak. Sorry. Go ahead, Brettzky. Talk about the cruiserweight match.
All right.
You
You got the commercials, man. I'll get
Hey, we could do a spin-off on commercials, by the way.
Oh my god, don't get me started.
Oh boy. But this was a lot of fun. I think this was Phantasma's best match. And he needed a good match because he's ever since the debut he's been like, he's been pretty good, but like, nothing like where you're like, wow, this guy is like a star. And I think this was a great match. Right winner because I feel like just for the spirit of the tournament you can't have anyone go undefeated because I just feel like they would just kind of be too weird, especially if they lose just randomly. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad they got the amount of time they did. Their styles seem to mesh really well. I like this a lot.
Well, Ceizar, did Phantasma impress you, or do you feel sorry for Tozawa because he keeps losing?
I feel sorry for Tozawa just because of the fuck shit of the left side of the thing. Because in theory, Tozawa beat everybody else and just lost to Phantasma. So since Phantasma beat him and they have the same record, he has the tiebreaker. So Tozawa's done. Versus on the left side, they all three beat, each other once. So there is no definite winner, and then it extends it by a match. But I mean that's fine too. But
wait, are they not having a tiebreaker?
No, because Tozawa beat everybody but Phantasma. So therefore, Phantasma is the best, still at the same record.
It was kind of like
he beat Tozawa.
It goes to the runner rules. Phantasma was the last one.
Oh,
he wins.
Yeah. They should have made that clear.
Yeah, see, so even though Phantasma beat, well, one of them doesn't have win. Tony Nese, right? Doesn't have any wins?
Yeah, Jack Gallagher did.
No, Jack. Yeah.
So
That's
Jack
what
Gallagher
it was.
has a win. Tony Nese is 0-3.
Yeah, Tony Nese is 0-3. So he's completely out. But since since he beat like Swan or whatever, and then since Tozawa beat the other two, but couldn't beat your boy Phantasma, and Phantasma just lost to one of them, but still beat Tozawa, who beat the other two, there is no tiebreaker. Like, you beat the guy who was undefeated, you defeated him, so you gave him his loss. So his one loss is to you, so therefore you are technically better than him, so you go over. Yeah.
Well,
you're
the notes that I took for this match is it always makes me feel nostalgic for the CWC when I see a great cruiserweight match like this. Tozawa had the offense like 60-40 during the match. He even hit his finisher on the Phantasma, but Phantasma was very smart and rolled out of the ring. Phantasma eventually hits the Samoan driver for the win. Great matchup. I hope Phantasma brings it for the finals because I'm still meh on him as for now.
Yeah, I wrote Phantasma. I wrote Phantasma was a bit sloppy at times.
Yeah.
I didn't write down like exactly what points, but I wrote he was a bit sloppy at times. But I was like, match overall, very good, very entertaining, good story, and then even a good after story with them in the parking lot. So
yeah,
with these masks,
this is his best match.
Yeah, definitely.
After this,
but is that because he was wrestling Tozawa, or is he getting better?
Partly. I think it's both. I feel like it's both. Because some of the shit he was doing with like the counters and like the the lucha stuff was like that wasn't all on Tozawa. Like he had to at least have done some of that.
Yeah.
You got to give Tozawa all the credit in the world for making him look like $1 million as well.
Oh
right, yeah. So I want to say like 70-30. Like it was 70% he was wrestling Tozawa, 30% like he's getting better. So
After this, we get a Thatcher Riddle recap where Thatcher challenges Matt Riddle to not a no DQ match, not a necessarily submission match, It's a knockout tap-out match. That's going to be pretty brutal. We find out later in the show what kind of other stipulation Matt Riddle wants, but when you guys heard this, were you excited or are you done with this Thatcher fellow? With his ugly ass.
I wasn't done, but I'm still confused. What's the knockout part? Are we doing standing 10 count versus just a submission? Or are we doing like he can't get up in 3 seconds?
I think it's like the lift your arm and drop it 3 times.
Yeah, that sounds that might be it.
Okay, because you could go that way for either person, I guess. I mean, because you can do that on submissions if he's submitting somebody to sleep. I guess you could do the. But yeah, see, I don't know. See, that's still even weird rules. Because if you're knocked out and somebody's messing with your arm, you're more likely to pop back up versus you get knocked the fuck out and they just leave you alone.
All I could do was stare at Thatcher's teeth. My God, that dude needs a dentist.
That's the BK thing.
After the commercial break, we get a Shotzi Blackheart promo where she's on a tank saying all kinds of corny shit, including TCB. She's taking care of business. It was corny as shit, but I do appreciate them making an effort to build her character. More character development, like showing us what she's like, and she can actually cut a promo. But, I mean, besides the corniness, what do you think of this, Brett? Are you a fan?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm a fan of her yet or not, but I have the same sentiment. Like, I appreciate the fact that they're trying to build a new character, because I think the last time we were all on here, we were like going over like who's the women in NXT, and I just completely forgot about Shotzi Blackheart. And I think we all did, but I'm happy to see that they're trying to build up someone new. But time will tell if it works. I don't know. I still don't quite know what her character is, other than she's punk. But we'll see where it goes.
Well, Ceizar, did it send chills down your spine when she was spitting that fire, such as, "Oh, Chelsea Green, I just crushed your makeup"?
Oh, I definitely wrote notes on this. So my notes say this is definitely a rehearsed promo. Sounded weird even during the real parts. Like, even when she was talking about her dad, it still sounded rehearsed because she said it in a cadence. Like, I don't know, man. Like they get these people in and they get them in a cadence about how they talk. And then I was like, how the hell do you drive a tank if you're standing on top surfing it? Because you didn't see the guy at first, and then you saw the guy in the second half of the promo, the one driving the tank. I was like, the tank was going forward, and this bitch is just on top surfing it. Like, this is my tank. Bitch, if you in the tank, get your dumb ass in the tank. Like, drive the tank. Shoot the tank. I don't care. But no, you got some guy driving this tank.
Well, Ceizar.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. These people got to work on their cadence or something and sell me on a promo.
Well, guys, when they do make Shotzi Blackheart merchandise and the shirt says, "Hey, Chelsea Green, I just crushed your makeup," we're all going to buy it, right? We're going to be Shotzi brothers. Shotzi brothers?
Speaking of Brettzky's question, it's one thing. I don't know if it's an age thing. I think they're trying to base her off of
Tank Girl?
That old garbage movie Tank Girl. Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's literally a remake of that. And that was a trash movie, so I don't know why you want to use that for inspiration. But
the only thing I know about her character, like I said, is that she's punk, and I just remember her going in the Rumble and like Michael Cole, I think, saying she's like Joan Jett, and like not really.
Fucking Cole.
I gotta say,
she's not really.
Now that she's married to that fucking Tonka toy Power Wheels tank she comes out in, it's gonna be hard to take her serious.
Oh God, it's like Becky Lynch in the fucking truck.
But reverse, because she rode the toy truck she rides the toy tank to the ring, and then has a real tank in the promos that she's supposedly driving around town.
You're right.
Yeah.
Man, they got to put some like fake ammo in that, like the mini tanks, to just like scare off people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it shoots out like fucking Beanie Baby bullets.
Or like the fireworks, like Vanguard 1.
Oh, rest in
Yeah,
rest in peace.
bro. Rest in peace.
Respect.
Sorry.
Respect.
Oh no, just put him in
Hey,
the lake. No, put him in the lake of rejuvenation, and he should come back or something, right?
He better. He's gonna have to do that.
Up next, we get Mia Yim versus Santana Garrett, dressed as a ringmaster in a definitely not going to be on Hulu match. Where the fuck is Mercedes Martinez, by the way?
No
Yeah,
clue.
what the fuck?
She came
No clue.
back and
No
then
clue.
she vanished, and she's badass. They should use her way more often than fucking Tank Girl, Shotzi, Leprechaun hair, bitch.
She might have a Rona.
Oh, shit.
You always got to play that card when you don't see him. Maybe the bitch lives like not in Florida, but maybe like in Georgia or something. And then like, you know, Georgia opened up, then everybody got Rona, so they shut Georgia back down. Maybe the bitch can't leave. I don't know. Yeah, you got to play Rona rules, man. It's crazy.
I'm surprised Rona wasn't scared by that face. Good Lord.
I'm surprised it wasn't.
Well, the point of this entire match was basically so Johnny and Candice can come out and run their mouth towards her. They do end up getting they attack her, and then Keith Lee comes out for the save. The married couple versus a married couple. I smell a mixed tag coming up next week. What do you guys think?
Go ahead,
Are they
Brettzky.
married?
I mean, I got my number. Go ahead.
Are they married? Keith Lee and Mia Yim?
I believe.
They're not married. They're just living together. No, they're just living together and banging.
Oh.
They're
I
like.
don't think they're married.
Yeah, they're like
I
a
feel like
step.
Mia Yim. Yeah, I feel like Mia Yim actually has a significant other though.
No, she's
And
banging
just-
Keith Lee.
Okay, all right. But
Yeah, they live together, so they're like a step. They're like the step before fiance. You know.
Yeah. So like I like it. I mean, to be honest, like when this match, like when they first started the match, my first two thoughts were, "Wow, I really don't care," and then, "Holy shit, who is Santana Garrett?" So that's kind of like how I went into the match. But I like what they're doing with the Johnny heel turn because it seems like it'll be interesting. I just hope they do. I hope they do more to differentiate it from Seth Rollins because I feel like they could easily combine, kind of become too similar. I'm excited for the match. They all can work. I think it's like one of the few examples, this case scenario, where like you could have an entertaining, other than like being funny, mixed tag match. So it'll be entertaining.
What do you think, Ceizar?
Yeah, I like it. I do like how they're paying attention to detail. Johnny and Candice both came out in white and black, white top, black pants, and you know that's how their promos go, in color and black and white, where they're all like supposed to be like loving characters that you kind of like, and then when they flip the switch, it's like black and white, and they say all the heel things. So I do love that, both attention to detail. I'm thinking mixed tag as well. I wrote that in my notes. So my notes, I was kind of listening more to Morrow than I was watching the match, to be honest. And Morrow kept yelling, protect your neck. And he's like, Mia Yim does it for the children. Because, Wu-Tang is always like, Wu-Tang does it for the kids. So I was geeking out when that happened. So I had to rewind because I was laughing at Morrow more than like the first part when Candice and Johnny came out. Because he was like, and Mia Yim went, protect your neck. And he's like, protect your neck, Beth. Mia Yim for the children. So I was geeking out.
Really hope
at that part. I wrote it down.
Morrow said something during NXT that was very peculiar. Fuck, I should have wrote it down. I hope it's in your notes, Ceizar, but it was like a complicated word, so I didn't write it down because I didn't know how to spell it.
Yeah, I was about to say, was it the one where he was supposed to say it 5 times fast and he just kept saying it, but he didn't do it 5 times fast?
Oh yeah, the little Richard.
Yeah, the Little Richard reference. He said, got more hits than Little Richard hitting the piano. And then he said a wop babaloo wop bamboo, and that told him to say it 5 times fast.
No, it started with a T.
Yeah.
It was
I would have
weird word that started with a T. Damn it, maybe it was during the Dexter match. I'll have to rewatch.
Yeah, see, I was more enthralled with the Dexter match. I really didn't listen. So my other notes are I like the move, protect your neck. I like the move. And then I wrote heel Johnny be lit. Johnny with his role right now, like he just like backing up whatever Candace is saying, like just emphasizing it,
Yeah.
which should be annoying to her, but she doesn't call him out on it. When she's like, you just get opportunities. Like, she's like, and then you just couldn't beat Charlotte Flair. Couldn't do it. Like it should be annoying, even as heels, to have that. It feels like he's playing the side character to her heel work.
Oh yeah, Johnny's
And
former
he-
slave to Candace.
Yeah, and I think that's so awesome because he's so over, and now he's literally performing it that way to get his wife over, which I feel which makes heel Johnny so lit to me. That it's his wife, and like, but still he's not doing it for his character. He's doing it for the overall brand. He's trying to help.
Yeah.
It's like making somebody else, but he can make his wife into a great heel character, which I think is like dope.
Well, Brett, do you think
because he's at that point.
Do you think this is going to lead to Johnny taking out Keith for the North American Championship?
I don't know if Johnny will win the title because I feel like kind of like harping on what Ceizar was saying. He was at the point before he turned heel where it was like, what the hell else can Johnny Gargano do in NXT? And like he was getting like a little bit stale, not super duper like boo you out of the arena stale, but still staler than he used to be. And I feel like he's at the point now of he's at the point now of like, I'll still go in the ring and I'll still do what you want me to do, but I also want to give back, like Ceizar was talking about. So it's really cool to see him in this kind of like side booster role. I don't think that he'll be the one to take the title off of Keith Lee. I just don't feel like that would be the smart thing to do in the long run, unless you want to get Keith Lee fast tracked to to Raw or SmackDown. But I wouldn't necessarily mind it if he did beat Keith Lee, because that would be a banger of a match no matter what. And I don't really mind seeing Johnny Gargano as a champion.
Well, I honestly, when you spoke about it, I think he should, but not quickly. So, like, if they sprawl this out to In Your House and get a mixed tag, and let's just say Mia Yim gets the pin over Candace on some, because Johnny and them try to do some fuck shit, then, like, Johnny can try to, then I would say, like, Mia Yim gets the pin on Candace, Johnny can fight Keith Lee, Candace can come out and give Johnny the title. That still, like, involves a feud. Keith Lee can come back for it. They can have Johnny defend it. Because, I mean, let's be honest, Keith Lee's great. Don't get me wrong. He's great, but he can't fight. You can't really take him seriously fighting any of the other smaller guys on NXT. And there's a lot of small guys. There's only so many big guys, which I think we're always putting him with Dijakovic and Priest and all this other stuff.
Well, what gets me excited about this possible match is we saw Johnny take on Dijakovic, and it was a great match.
Right.
So we know
it was a great match.
Johnny can have great matches with bigger guys, and I think this is only going to benefit Keith Lee, win or lose, because we'll get to see a whole new matchup here, and Johnny always makes everybody look like $1 million.
Plus, Keith Lee doesn't have anybody to fight for the title right now, which I think it'll be good. And if Johnny takes it, he can, try to cheat his way out of some matches. Then Keith Lee can come back and get it, or he could go for the NXT title like that too. So I think either way, it just benefits the brand.
Well,
you're right. I see what you're saying now.
Well, following this, we get a Finn, Grimes, Damian recap of what happened last week. And then Grimes in a back, I don't know where he was. Was he at a grapevine, or he was in the backyard of the Performance Center? He was gloating.
Like a train center or something? I don't know.
He was gloating about his win against Finn Balor, and of course, this is the biggest win of his entire career. He has bragging rights forever. But Grime time is alive, fellas.
I mean, I wrote notes on the promo.
Are you a fan? Are you a fan of Grime time or no?
I'm still not a fan, But I was just like, why does he move so much back and forth when he talks like he's got to pee? That's all I wrote on my notes. As you know, I'm not a fan of this dude. I don't even like his voice. I realize I don't like. There's something. This guy feels like you were having to create a character and you stopped at 93%, which is such annoying to me because like I feel like he's just not a complete character, but I keep having to see him week after week, and I feel like if he was complete, he'd be great. But there is something about him that just feels not complete to me that I don't dig it. I don't dig it.
Well, Brettzky, you got to show him some love. I mean, what about his theme song?
I mean, like, I'm with ceizar. You know, he has. I don't know. Like,
so you can't explain it. It's not just me. It's like the guy's got all the potential in the world, and he just can't tap into it.
Like, I'm happy he's in NXT because I feel like he's a project that they can work on for a little bit. Because I feel like with a little bit of tweaking with something, then he can be very good. But there's something about him that just makes me like when I see him on the TV screen, like, oh, I don't really give a shit. Like, there's just something about him that I just don't like, and not in like a heel way, just like in a I don't want you on my TV way.
Well, after the commercial break, we get a very serious backstage interview with Drake Maverick saying he's gotta win, and we were all pulling for the little guy. More on that later. The Undisputed Era escort Roddy out. Next week marks 1 year for Adam Cole's NXT Championship title reign. Very impressive. Kyle O'Reilly has been on a movie set, we found out last week, because for weeks we were asking, where the fuck is Kyle O'Reilly? Did he get the Rona? But no, he grew his hair out and he's on a movie set. I don't know what movie, but I'm sure we'll get details about that later. This leads to the match Roddy Solo versus Ceizar's favorite, Dexter Lumis. What say you about this match, Ceizar? Read all your notes.
Man, I got so many notes. What the fuck is that? Man, I was drunk. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read notes later in the thing. All right. So first of all, this is what I'm talking about. When we talked about like the empty arena styles, this kind of match was what I was talking about. Because if you notice Roddy the whole time, Roddy was talking. And Roddy's like, quit looking at me. Quit looking at me. Like, quit looking at me. Like, get him back, ref. You gonna stop looking at me. You gonna stop looking at me. Get him back, ref. Like, that shit was very entertaining from Roddy's point. In the early going, Roddy getting frustrated. Roddy getting frustrated because Dexter Lumis was kind of like out ground wrestling him, instead of being like a powerhouse like he used to be. Still, Roddy sold it well. Great match. I like Dexter Lumis's punch. It's different.
Yes.
Great punch
as well.
Great. I really wrote down great match. It was crazy. The crazy looks got me laughing. The mat wrestling was good. And hitting his finisher after the match. So when he had Roddy, after Roddy got the win, and he had Roddy on the floor, like Undisputed Era was literally just kicking him in his face, and he still had the same look. That man can keep the same face for like a 20-minute match and not change it, even when he's like, even though as humans you get tired or you get like maybe even a little winded. I'm not saying he was gassed, but you get a little winded.
No.
He kept
like you said,
face.
It was euphoric. Circa Bubba Dudley post table.
Yeah, with the table. It's like he looks like that all the time, and like Roddy just kept selling that too, which I thought was dope. Morrow with the little Richard. Fucking great, man. And then I wrote like on 3 lines out of this notebook, just dream with exclamation marks. All I wrote Dream from the left side of the page to the right side of the page with 3 exclamation marks over 3 lines. That's how big I wrote it. And I was like, better be Dream Cole in your house too. I don't like you said, like I said last time, I don't like, and this happened in AEW too, I don't like how matches start 10 minutes before top of the hour, because if you tuned in at 9 o'clock on both shows, it was halfway through the best matches of both shows. So, because the Orange Cassidy, which we'll talk about, the Orange Cassidy match was halfway through at 9. It started at 8:50, and this match started at 8:50. Actually rewound and looked at that. So I would like matches to start at the top of the show, because you get a full match, and both of those matches were great. And yeah, that's basically the notes I have on that.
I love that this was finally a real challenge for Dexter Lumis, and like you said, Roddy kept shouting at him, "Quit staring at me!" Brettzky, has this match made you a bigger Dexter Lumis fan?
I fucking love Dexter Lumis.
You goddamn right. We getting Dexter Lumis merch. We getting Dexter Lumis merch.
Oh yeah.
After
If there's Dexter Lumis merch, I will get it.
I'm fucking getting them eyes, man. Oh, I did write a note that I think Dexter Lumis should not walk out the back, but like the Rey Mysterio ramp, but not pop up at once, just like the Gangrel ramp. He needs to rise from under the ramp slowly.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the eyes first coming out of nowhere, and you just follow the eyes up.
I had a different
and then
take.
he's just like standing there.
I had a different take. Remember when he was standing in the light jerking off that one week? Like I don't remember what specific area he was in, but I think they need to put a curtain there, and then when his music plays, he peeks behind the curtain and stares at the ring. And then makes his way to the fucking ring like that. I think that'd be creepy.
It's got to be that, or you got to do the Jericho entrance where you just like focus on the Titantron, whereas Titantron is just the eyes and it says Dexter Lumis. Yeah. And then when the camera cuts through, it's just his face, but it's the eyes, and then you pan back, and then he walks towards the camera.
Well, Brettzky, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
The first thing I noticed was that Dexter Lumis's theme song sounds a lot like the Stranger Things theme song, which I love.
Yes.
This was the match of the night. Everything that ceizar said, I agree with. Like, Roddy selling the eyes, like, hey, quit looking at me. It's like, that popped me. That was funny as hell, and that was a smart thing to do.
Right. But you can only do that with an empty stadium. Like, you can't do that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, yeah, and that's one of the benefits of the empty arena. But also, I like the fact that it showed that Dexter Lumis is actually a fucking talented as hell wrestler. Because he kept up with everything Roddy was doing, and still maintaining that face. And I do think that unless they fuck him up, he is a star in the making. He can go with anyone now. He can have a match with anyone now, and it won't seem too far-fetched because of this match, because he kept up so well. I loved the ending, because it gets the Undisputed Era the cheap win, which is fine. It was a really cool way. It was a really cool pin. It was like he locked both of his arms back. It was kind of like a half submission, half pin, which was really cool by Roddy. But just like Dream coming out popped me, because it means he's not in jail.
Yes,
so
and he's
that
not
was
fired.
cool.
And he's not fired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was good. Yeah, and then when he did the fucking, because when he jumped Adam Cole over the barricade and
yes.
I'm like, I looked at that. I looked at him on the top rope and like, wait a minute, is Cole still over the barricade? And then he jumped, like, holy shit, he actually went over the barricade. And then as soon as he did that, it cuts to Dexter Lumis just fucking staring and petting Roderick Strong's head, and it was the best thing ever.
That was the best way to cut the commercial, because Roddy's just out and he's just petting his head like, night night, little baby, night night. I was like, oh my god, this dude is fucking gold. The sad part is, with Vince running the show, I can't see him on Raw or SmackDown.
No, I
He'll
can't with
put up
that.
the comment.
There's
I
no.
can see Heyman. I can see Heyman loving him.
Oh no, I see Heyman drooling over this guy, but I cannot see Vince allowing him to stay him. Because in my mind, I think I read somewhere. Well, not in my mind, but I read somewhere that Triple H was talking about. It's hard now to build a star. Because I think he was talking about like the Undertaker. Like, you know, you built these. You could build guys back in the day. You could build guys like the Undertaker. He said it's harder now with, you know, social media, smart marks, everything, to like build a guy like that. But this fucking Dexter Lumis guy, I feel like could be built like that. Like he is, you know, like where the fuck did he come from? Like what the fuck's his deal? Why is he so Why is he so serial killery? This guy's more of a serial killer than Peter Wayne Kent. I said it. I said it, PWK. I know you listening. I said it. I said it.
Well,
Shotzi's fired.
Yeah, like this guy, man.
watch out, man. No.
I mean, this guy's great, man. Like, he can't do no wrong for me right now. He's not cut one promo, and I am not mad. I don't think I ever want to hear him speak.
Well,
And what I love too is that he's so much like Dream in that they're both kind of weird, a little bit over the line, but not too over the line characters. And they're you don't know whether or not each of them is a face or a heel, because attacking Strong after the match, heel move, but you wanted him to win.
But you liked it because he's not really a face. Because even Morrow and them were talking about, like, I don't know why he came and helped the Dream during that match, but he just likes to fight. But he's crazy.
Yeah, it's the perfect example of him and Dream are the perfect example of tweeners done right.
Right. But him and Dream are also work because I think like Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, you have a guy who just doesn't shut the hell up, so the other guy doesn't need to talk, and it's entertaining as hell because both their character work is so great. Like the Dream can cut a fantastic promo, and if he was partnered with old Dexter Lumis, like Lumis wouldn't even have to say one word, but you would fucking geek out and believe him just because the Dream is so over dramatic. And this guy is just so stone faced. It would work. It's gold. It's fucking gold.
Well, Dexter not only reminds me of Ike from Tacoma FD, but with him throwing those stiff right punches. You ever play Tekken? You ever play Tekken, Ceizar?
Yep.
You remember Jack the Cyborg? He reminds me of Jack the fucking Cyborg, the way he was throwing those right punches. They were so stiff and cyborg-like. I like that a lot. Roddy does win with a weird like leg tying arm crossing pin, which was pretty damn cool. It's sad to see Dexter lose, but I mean it was a great match, and it's not going to ruin or besmirch his record at all. Dexter continues to go after Roddy. The Undisputed Era attack Dexter. Dream comes out for the save, hits a hell of a purple Rainmaker on the Cole to the outside of the ring. That motherfucker hit hard. It looks like they both got hurt from that one. It looked impressive as hell. And then, like you guys said, smash cut to Dexter holding Roddy, stroking his hair. Commercial. Highlight of the night. NXT. This was the best segment of the entire show. Loved it. After the commercial, Phantasma and Tozawa are in the parking lot just talking about the match. Tozawa in good spirits even though he loses. When the flea market luchas pull up and attack Tozawa, they didn't attempt to kidnap him this time because Phantasma came out and helped Tozawa. I still say Phantasma is behind all this shit, but
I believe that. I believe that. I'm with that.
What did you guys think of this corny ass segment?
I mean, I think he's still trying to play the good guy because apparently he's the only person who can fight off these other Mexicans. What does he have, like special mass powers that, I mean, you know, that lets him beat everybody else? Anybody without a mask, they get got. So.
Brettzky, are you intrigued by the Brown Order trying to kidnap everybody?
Nice.
That was good. The not so dark order. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, you know, it's sometimes you have to have obvious shit in wrestling. So like it's like the stereotype: the masked wrestler is trying to deny he's with the other masked wrestlers, but in reality he is. And it's like, ooh, yeah, I mean, like we expected it, but it works, so we'll go with it. Or they could just do a whole big swerve and have someone else come out, like, I don't know, maybe it was Drake Maverick who was helping them out, who was like hiring them to beat everyone up or something like that. I don't know what it is. I'm intrigued because, like, you could do a lot of different things with it, because there's when you have a mystery angle like that, you can do a lot of different things with it. So I'm definitely intrigued, and I didn't mind the segment with Tozawa and Phantasma, because I feel like, I hope that Tozawa goes on to turn heel and be like, oh, everyone takes advantage of me and thinks I'm the nice guy. Well, I'll show you. Or he can just go on and be like, listen, I'm just a cool guy who likes wrestling and is really good at it. So, Tozawa's fine from this, and I don't mind it.
And an Instagram checking match afterwards, Everrise, which sounds like a new boner pill, takes on Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Oh, you mean the dollar store Young Bucks?
Yeah, buddy.
The Bald Brothers?
The great value Young Bucks.
Lorcan and Burch with the submission. It was very missable. I didn't really write that much notes, other than after the victory they mocked Imperium, foreshadowing maybe a future match with Imperium, possibly for the tag championships. Do you guys give a fuck about this segment at all? Because I sure didn't.
I think I wrote something. I don't know. Oh, this was when Mauro said the Little Richard line, because I think he said Oli and the other guy hit harder than, I said their British strong style hits harder than Little Richard on the keys. Wop babaloo baba wop bamboo.
Yep.
Damn this tag match. Double tap. Oh, I say, damn this tag match real quick. Finish double tap.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote.
Pretty much.
All right.
Brett, did you pay attention to this one, or were you like, next?
I paid attention to this. Again, fucking, I looked at that and it probably, I don't really know if they've been on NXT, because I've been like on and off of NXT in the past. Who the fuck are Everrise? I do like Beth Phoenix has been always solid on commentary, but like those little lines she gets in where like she made like a solid reference to like the Rougeaus and shit like that, when she's like, oh yeah, in the spirit of other French Canadian tag teams, they don't like other competitors or something like that, and that kind of made me laugh. But they look like Dollar Tree, like you find them in the back of the Dollar Tree when it's like you want to buy like Young Bucks merch, and it's like, oh, we got these fucks for you. So like, I mean, I don't know, I don't give a shit about them. I love Birch and Oni Lorcan though. They're great, and I'm excited.
Those dudes are awesome.
The only saving grace with this is that it kind of reintroduces them as a tag team, like in the tag team picture, and it moves away from Riddle, fucking the other guy, I forgot his name for whatever, Thatcher, and just done. So I don't mind it, only because it reestablishes Lorcan and Birch, and I'm excited for that match. But take it or leave it, doesn't really matter.
Well, backstage interview with Keith Lee afterward. Keith Lee wants Gargano at TakeOver. Could it be a mixed tag? We don't know. I guess we'll find out next week. But following this, the commercial break after that was Riddle backstage accepting Thatcher's challenge and adding another stipulation. He wants to fight inside a cage. Now, this would be perfect for a TakeOver, but they didn't necessarily say TakeOver. Should this be on a TakeOver, or do you think this should be like a ratings thing for next week or the following week?
It was announced. It was announced for next week.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. It's going to happen next week in the cage. I honestly thought this should last until TakeOver.
Yeah.
If these two guys don't fight each other at TakeOver, then like what do I always say? Sometimes they're giving away free money just because of Rona, because they're not having takeovers, and takeovers are only so far and few in between. But giving away free money, having these guys, especially in a cage, especially with the stipulation, yeah, you're giving away free money having these guys fight on NXT.
Yeah, you should have like a contract signing next week, and then it leads to Takeover or something.
Yeah. If Takeover's in 2 weeks, I mean, I guess it's probably because, yeah, I mean, you could say because since AEW is having a pay-per-view Saturday, this is a way for you to swing people to watch NXT Wednesday and not just faithfully watch AEW because, oh, I got to see what happened after the pay-per-view. I got to pay attention to that show. So I don't know.
Are the travel restrictions still in place?
I honestly
For what,
do
UK?
not know.
Yeah, the UK.
I think they're still up for now, but they're like in the process of like trying to work out a way to take them down.
Because
But I know that the UK is still like going through like a little bit of shit with it, like with the Rona.
This is the way I want it to go down. This next match they have, I want Thatcher to win. And then for the rubber match, have it at TakeOver, have Riddle win that one. Thatcher, sore loser, attacks Riddle again. And who comes out for the save? The Bruiserweight.
True.
That
would be an ideal way.
Yeah.
Or Bruiserweight comes Wednesday, and since Bruiserweight is back, they fight Imperium. The Stallions fight Imperium for their tag team championships at In Your House.
Yeah, that's why I asked about the travel restrictions. I hope they're lifted sooner than later because we got to get Jordan Devlin over here as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that needs to happen. If they can get Jordan Devlin back, interim champ versus Jordan Devlin should be a good match.
Well, that's a good.
Oh yeah, any of those guys.
That's a good segue because up next, Kushida versus Drake Maverick and another interim cruiserweight championship tournament matchup. Wow, I'm just gonna read my notes first because Drake. Okay, hold on. Kushida dominates most of the match. Jason Atlas and his mom's bingo jacket comes out again to support Drake, cheering him on. Kushida was just taking it to Drake's arms the whole match, and Drake screaming in pain with his fucking Stallone mouth, selling like a champ. I loved it. I loved how he was selling. And then
Drake knows how to tell stories.
After a sloppy fall from the top rope, Kushida attempted an armbar. Drake turned it into a pin for the win. What did you guys think of this match? And did you think Drake oversold or correctly sold this entire match?
Well, Drake's a good seller because he's so small. And I know he's fighting cruiserweights, but he's still like smaller than half those dudes. But he still hyped it up by saying,
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Where is everybody?
It says ceizar left.
Uh-oh. He dropped his phone in the toilet. Oh, wow. Let me message him real quick. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on this matchup.
Okay. All right. I liked it. I think what I realized during this match was that Jake Atlas looks like a really shitty version, like a really like if you told me to draw an Eskimo and I didn't know what an Eskimo looked like, I feel like I would draw Jake Atlas.
Eskimo.
But I love this because before the match started, I thought to myself they should have Drake win because then there would have to be a three-way, and then they announced a three-way, and I love it because it gets around. If the plan is to have Drake win, then you can easily have Drake pin Jake Atlas because Atlas wants him to win so much. Kushida's not even involved in the fall, which saves his space. And then you can have Maverick versus Phantasma. And in that case, if Maverick is the leader of the Not So Dark Order, then it comes into play. Or you can just have him beat the shit out of Phantasma and win. So I love this. I think he sold it perfectly because Kushida's like the whole Japanese strong style thing, and it's like kicking the literal shit out of him. I loved it. I think it was done perfectly. This whole thing's been a beautifully told story. And I'm really pulling for Maverick. Him and Devlin could also have a banger.
Ceizar, you dropped off. What happened? You dropped your phone in the toilet? What happened there?
I just dropped my phone, and then it just canceled me out of everything.
You got
so.
too passionate about the business.
I did. I got too passionate about the Drake and the NXT. I mean, it was like I was saying, I don't know what part I got cut out of. I kind of like Brettzky's theory, man. I think if Drake does get to the finals by Eskimo, like, letting him get the win, so therefore he has to stay around, and then, like, you know, and then Drake maybe even winning, that would be even more crazy, because think about it. You go from managing 205 Live to technically being the 205 Live champion. I mean, that's kind of a great story, because, you know, the wrestlers always disrespect the fucking authority in charge or whatever. But yeah, I think if Drake fights Phantasma, I would like that story of the evil Mexican, the Brown Order guys coming out to try to fuck with Drake, like, before the match. So, like, some shit where, like, you know, Drake in the main event, Drake is supposed to fight Phantasma, and he was attacked by the Brown Order guys in the parking lot earlier today, and then Drake still manages to drag his ass out to that ring and get a win. It would be a great match. It would be a great match. It would be great storytelling. So, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Oh, shit. Yo, I saw something. What if Eskimo Atlas is actually the leader of the Brown Order? And he's doing it, and in his mind, he's like, I'm doing it to try to help you, Drake. I want to help you win, so I'm softening these guys up.
I didn't even think about
that. You can, but he still beat him, though. Like he's like, I'm doing it for you, but he still beat him. That means he would have to lose that match to Drake clean, and then make those guys beat up Drake for the championship match against Phantasma.
But two things that I would say to counter that. One, you could argue that it took Atlas beating Maverick for him to make Atlas realize, holy shit, like, this guy's job in life is at stake. So it took the win.
Okay, I see what you're saying. It's more like,
and then also
he had to fight him to know him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, like, it's like a kind of like a classic heel thing. It's like the way I tried to help you was by hurting you. It was the only way I could think of doing it, you know, something like that. You know, where it's like, it doesn't make any sense, but in, like, the heel's twisted mind, it makes sense, that kind of shit.
Right. No, you're right.
I love these this fantasy booking here, and I really do hope it happens. The only thing is, I haven't read anything online, or I know online isn't the most valuable source, but according to the latest news, WWE has still not offered Drake a contract or his job back. So I'm hoping this is a swerve and he does get his job back, because to lose Drake Maverick is gonna be a bummer, especially to the NXT roster and the cruiserweights in general.
I mean, EC3 cut a promo on his shit last night after Drake was announced for the triple threat. EC3 cut a crazy promo about Rockstar Spud on his Instagram. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Well,
but I also feel like. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna move on, but go ahead.
Oh, I just feel like they wouldn't mention it on TV so much. If it were real, because I feel like they would kind of, like, tell the announcers, like, hey, this is a really sensitive subject for the guy, don't mention it. And also, like, if they're probably wouldn't tell anyone or have anyone go out and be like, yeah, don't worry, he's gonna get his job back, don't worry. Like, they kind of want you to think, like, he has to win. If he doesn't win, he's out. He has to win to get his job, you know, something like that.
Well, they're doing a hell of a job protecting that. Because, you know, I hope the shit gets leaked.
Yeah.
Well, up next is the main. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Damian Priest cut a promo. It's kind of cool. I love his laugh. Like you guys know, he has the best evil laugh in the business. He's challenging Finn at TakeOver. That should be a really good match. Who are you guys pulling for?
Okay, he's challenging Finn at a TakeOver. Does the Demon come out?
Ooh.
Nah.
That would be nice.
It's a takeover though. This would be the first takeover without the demon when Finn on the programming.
No, it would not.
Which other one was there?
Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle.
Was that a takeover?
That was absolutely a takeover.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then,
yeah.
Well, then I am mistaken.
I was almost going to disagree with Ceizar, but
Well, all right. That was when Finn was still like heel Finn. He's kind of like Damian Priest is the bigger heel here.
yeah, I was almost going to disagree with you, Ceizar, but then I remembered that Damian made it personal by attacking him backstage. So I mean, there's at least a 20% chance we could see the demon. But what do you think, Brett? Demon or no demon at Takeover?
Why would they have? I can't imagine the demon coming out with an empty arena. I just can't imagine it. It wouldn't have the same feel to it, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, why wouldn't it? It's not like people like yell or chant along. It's just the light show.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do the whole arm and they do like the whoa, like they all yell in the audience.
Yeah, but that's with the music. Yeah, but that's also with the music, and they're just making a stance. They don't still do it now when he does it as a heel.
I don't think he's a heel.
Yeah.
The Prince is definitely a heel. Because the Prince was attacking all the good guys.
Not lately, though.
Well, not lately because of fucking Rona, but before Rona, he was literally, he was fighting Riddle. He was beating up, he was trying to fight Tyler Bate backstage. He was trying to fight Johnny when he was still a heel. He came back and fought Johnny. He came back and fucked up Johnny.
Yeah, he was heel.
Yeah, the Prince was taking out the faces. Tyler, come on, what's he fighting with? What's the other old guy with Tyler Bate?
Trent Seven.
Yeah, he was fucking his shit up. I mean, like the Prince is a heel, and the Prince was definitely taking out all the top faces. I mean, the only other person he fucked with once was Adam Cole, and that match got disrupted. But now, yeah, it's Damian Priest, so it was like heel on heel. I mean, don't get me wrong, Finn Balor's great. So, yeah, he's a heel, but he's great. So you probably want to root for him more to win.
You know what we all forgot about? We forgot that Finn was supposed to take on Dream. I want to see that match.
I do want to see that match. Remember Finn was supposed to fight Dream, and then Finn got taken out by Damian Priest.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
That would be like epic.
That'll be a real good match.
Well, after this promo, we get the main event, the women main event NXT this week. Io Shirai, that sexy little Asian bunny, versus Rhea Ripley, the short-haired, leather-clad former NXT Women's Champion. Brett, I'm going to have you read your notes this time. You kick it off.
You expect a great match between them, and I really liked it. They both looked great, first of all, but they obviously are going to tear it down because they're Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley, so of course they are. It wasn't as good as you might expect. I think that Loomis and Strong was a better match, and just better in general as a highlight of the night. But this is a very strong ending. Charlotte came out at the end, once again proving she looks better with more clothes on. And, I have no problems whatsoever with this. I'm looking forward to see where this leads. And it was definitely a very solid match.
Well, Ceizar, were you disappointed that we didn't get a finish to this match, or do you think it was a good way to end it to protect both women?
No, because I think the last time we were all together, I called this. I literally called this during the Riho incident of Snyder's Pretzels last podcast, 1976. I called it that when Charlotte DQ'd, and then Rhea came out, this would lead to either this match and one of them fighting Charlotte, or the possibility of Charlotte coming out, beating them both up, and it ending in a triple threat. I literally said that last time we all got together, and that's what it is. It was that predictable that they would do that. They like all three ladies. and I feel like they think all three ladies to represent the brand.
Yeah,
Rhea had the title.
Don't
Rhea
you-
had the title. Io doesn't, but and Charlotte does. I don't think they'll take it off Charlotte that quick.
don't you
But
think that was
yeah,
a little unfair to Io? She never really got a legit one-on-one match with Charlotte.
well, yeah. So she's always going to have that gripe, and then if Charlotte pins Rhea again at the In Your House pay-per-view, then she can still make that gripe as a heel, saying, "Yeah, well, I wasn't pinned. Yeah, it's a triple threat, but I wasn't pinned, and that bitch had to get a kendo stick to take me out because I was beating her." She always has that gripe to continue that feud for the future.
Should this triple
If you
threat
don't think
match have a gimmick?
it's already a triple threat match, it's already a gimmick.
No, I mean like
Yeah, it's
a
already a
fucking
gimmick.
Singapore cane on a fucking pole match or something.
Nah, man, get the fuck. Only person who uses the cane is fucking
Sandman?
Charlotte.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
Hikaru Shida.
we'll get there.
Well,
We'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there. Well,
I was
then
gonna say, that's the
now-
only one. That's the only one who's known for it. Like,
Well,
It's
but
also
then now,
weird.
Nyla Rose had a beast of a one on fucking Wednesday too. So
Well,
oh yeah,
I knew
she has quite the stick.
we were going to be covering a lot of heavy shit at the beginning of this, so I asked the fellas to provide us with some positive questions. So let's kick it off with Franco.
who are the fellas? Who are the fellas?
The fellas, the Steel Real Army.
The boys.
Come on now.
I don't know. You could have meant the fellas as in the Steel Real podcast, but not the Steel Real Army. So I mean, fellas could be 2 people, 8 people, 16 people. I don't know who they are.
Relax, Caesar.
He's got a
All right,
point. He's got a point.
Coming
I'm just saying.
from Franco, if you guys could have any artist or band write and perform your theme song for a WrestleMania main event for the world title against The Fiend, who would it be and why? Caesar.
I wouldn't wrestle the Fiend at WrestleMania because the Fiend has shitty matches. So I wouldn't be in that match. I'd be wrestling somebody better. So there you go. Done. Next case.
Look, well, man, I don't know. I feel like it would have to be something like a little heavier, to kind of counteract the Fiend. So I would probably go with I don't know, Fozzy or something like them.
What song?
Oh, I have to pick a song.
Perform your theme song.
Hello?
Okay, well, I'll pick Slayer then.
Slayer?
Slayer's the only thing that could beat that fucking badass theme song. Because Slayer's got a lot of good shit.
Actually, if I was fighting anybody else, I'd pick NWA. Like Eazy-E would rise from the grave. And I'd pick the hardest black group in America, NWA. And there'd be 50 N-bombs said in one verse by the time I got to the ring.
Wait, who comes out first? You or the Fiend?
Don't fucking matter. Who comes out first? You ain't following 50 N-bombs, and you don't want to hear a guy walking down to 50 N-bombs to the ring. So either way, I was winning.
Well, we already know that Vince is okay with N-bombs, so you might have a point there.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's okay with. Yeah. The crowd would be singing along, and we'd be fighting in Atlanta, so the crowd would definitely be singing along.
Oh, shit. Next up, Stixie Drip Drip asks, which body part do you wish was detachable and why? You want me to kick it off?
Yeah, go ahead. I got nothing.
Yeah, I gotta think about that.
I'm going to be as vanilla as possible because I'm going to detach my arm so I can finally reach that goddamn itch without having to rub my back on a fucking tree like a bear.
Okay.
Brett?
I'm gonna go Zenka,
Oh, it's okay.
and I'm gonna detach my butthole just to fart in people's faces when they piss me off.
Oh, man. He just got done eating all that fried cheese, too, Brett. What about you?
Oh boy. I would have to. Oh man, I would probably have to go with the old spank machine. I'd have to go with my dick. Just because I feel like it would be funny. Like if you're getting frisky with a female, and I kind of like, you know what? Let me play some darts. Whip it off. See if I can get it in.
You definitely better hit that bullseye, because if you hit that brown eye, you ain't getting any action.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it. It's like
Yeah,
Russian roulette.
I was thinking of how I could make that funny, but yeah, you hit it darts, but you're only throwing one dart. What's she gonna do? Throw it back at you?
No, she'll toss it back.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
when
you get a point.
in action movies you see ninjas have like that tube and they put like a poison dart in it and they blow it because the tube is real small. Could you imagine
Oh God.
Jake putting his micropene in that fucking tube and blowing it at some chick's sniz?
No, knowing Jake's luck, he would breathe in too deep and then it would be in his mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, and you like swallow it, like, oh, he'd choke on it.
Yeah.
Jake could be like, I don't remember eating this Jolly Rancher. Oh shit.
Shit is dick flavored.
Up next, Matthew JH 138. It's Thursday, May 21st. Happy American Red Cross Founders Day. My grandfather served in WW2 at Normandy and always told me to never donate to the American Red Cross because it's a money-hungry organization that charged American troops for coffee overseas during the war. He always told me to donate to the Salvation Army because they never charged for coffee and were good people. So every year, I always donate to the Salvation Army and Autism Speaks. I have autism. What charities do you donate to during the year, Ceizar?
Poor black man charity, because charity starts at home. I donate to that quite often. I donate to that every 2 weeks on a Friday. That donation gets held steady for a while now. I randomly donate. Like, you catch me in a good mood at the grocery store and they're like, hey, you want to, round up a couple dollars for so-and-so? Sometimes I'll be like, yeah. You catch me at Wendy's and it's like, it's $1 for whatever. You can write your name. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, write your own name on it. I don't need the recognition.
Ceizar,
kick rocks.
don't give us this fuck shit. You be buying Girl Scout cookies.
Actually, I don't buy Girl Scout cookies.
What?
I don't. Fuck them Girl Scouts.
The Girl Scouts are too scared of the streets.
Yeah, man, they ain't out here in these streets. I will say, I thought about it one time. There was this crazy beer release in dead of winter. The line is long as shit. Everybody's out there freezing their nuts off trying to drink in line illegally. And this dad had a fucking van and his daughter selling Girl Scout cookies, and like she was making a killing. And I was like, that's a Young Hustlers Club. That's Young Hustlers Club. I respect the hustle. I damn near was like, if I had cash, I would have bought that shit. Or if they would have had like a square for the swipe, dude, I would have swiped my card. I'd be like, this Young Hustlers Club right here. I respect the hustle. Just because you got a table and some cookies. Yeah, if you just got a table and some cookies, fuck out of here. But you show your ass up at a beer release, or you set up outside of a weed store or something, and you hustling cookies, that's Young Hustlers Club. You bought them streets. I respect that. And I'll buy that off respect.
Brettzky, what charities do you donate to during the year?
It's a really cool one. It's called the Babson College Fund. No, but I don't. I mean, I don't really have the money in my own personal bank account to be willingly donating to charity. But like, I'll do those same things like Alex's lemonade stand. Like, if I'll go to like a restaurant and be like, you could give us $2, same kind of thing. Like, you give us like $1 and you can write your name on the lemon. And I'm like, all right, sure, here, like, here's $1. But like, I don't, at this point in time, have the funds necessary to elicit spending on charities as much as I might want to. So that's a TBD.
Well, thanks a lot, Matthew, for making us feel like shitty people.
Nah, it's okay. I felt like a shitty person way before this.
Oh, I know I'm an asshole, so I don't really care.
As far as charities go, shit, I mean, no, tithing doesn't count. I don't know. I bought an autism awareness shirt. That's about it. But like you guys say, funds aren't really flowing in as great.
Oh,
Like
wait,
ever.
if shirts count, my friend does have a charity where he builds like playgrounds for kids, but it's like associated with a bar crawl, and I go every year and buy one of the t-shirts and donate money for that. But we go for it. It's a drinking event, so I'm spending money at bars and they donate to the charity. But my friend hosts it every year. I do go for that. It's called Rock Solid.
Did you donate before or after you were shit faced?
You donate before to join the bar crawl.
Oh,
So you sign up. Yeah, you sign up, and then there's you get tickets for prizes at the end, but the money goes all these prizes have been donated to the charity. So you sign up and buy tickets, and you get tickets as long as your arms. You pay $40, and then you go to the bars, and the bars donate 10%. Every bar you go to, it donates 10 or 15% of the total sales of the people in the t-shirts for the benefit. And you drink all day. It starts at 1 and you drink till basically you pass out, throw up, or Uber home.
Well, I'm not going to be nearly as controversial as Brett was, but due to time constraints, I wasn't able to say what I had to say about Owen Hart. I did notice that they were making it seem like Owen Hart was the greatest person on earth and he could do no wrong and he was awesome and everything, but they never did mention how he fucked up Stone Cold's neck. I mean, I know this isn't ballet
Not
or anything.
one bit. Not one bit did they mention that match.
And even Stone Cold himself said
Oh,
that
not at all.
Owen never apologized for that. I just thought it was interesting they left that part out.
Yeah.
The whole thing is interesting because, again, though it's clear that apparently, whatever it is, no one really knows except for you have to take it as it is. Owen wasn't super enthralled with wrestling as it was, which I find hard to believe, but I can imagine it. It's hard to hear someone like his wife and kids who just essentially despise wrestling and were never interested in it from the beginning, even when Owen was alive. It's hard to hear people like that talk about wrestling because, even though you were married to Owen Hart, of course you're going to shit on wrestling. You didn't like it in the first place, and your husband died doing it. So, that was one of my other issues with it. As good of a documentary as it was, that was my only other issue with it.
I mean, you got to agree with that. I got to agree with Brettzky on that. Do they really, really hate wrestling? I mean, all right, yeah. I mean, some people do get into jobs and where they know that they can make. I mean, once you hit the big time, even if anything you can say that, the NBA, the NFL. I mean, if you know you're going to be a certain role player, or you could be great. LeBron James knows he can't play basketball forever, and he knows it has to end. Maybe Owen was just well, I'm good enough. I come from the Hart family. None of them really took off until Brett took off. And Owen being the youngest out of how many kids? 12?
Yeah.
Something like that.
12 or something? He's just yeah, all right, this is what my family does. If you're the 12th kid doing something and you're yo, this is what my family does. We live in Canada. We like wrestling, probably hockey and some shit like that. We're all pretty talented, athletic family. He played football. He played, I think it's a track or something too, right? So he's in shape. He's a kid. He can make money wrestling. I guess decent money because they all were wrestlers, but none of them were world champs until Brett got there, and then Brett got that call to be world champ, and then you see the glitz and glamour, and you're there every day a week. And she said herself, Owen was a wrestler, but then when Owen when Brett left and Owen was really taking off, she said he was gone 4 days out the week, home 3, 5 days out the week, home 2. When you're gone 260 days a year because you're actually one of the greats, how do you accept to that? You can always say, I'm in it for the money. But when you're one of the top dogs, man, and they need you, and that money's coming in more than what you thought it was going to be, you don't know how you're going to react to that. You might be shit, I like the limelight. Well, I like being right.
I just wanted to get that in there before I forgot. Before we move on to the most entertaining show of the week, AEW Dynamite. The Inner Circle arrives in the limo, and they berate the interviewer, and this was going to be a good night because Ortiz drops the nincompoop line.
Yes.
Definitely popcorn.
Jesus Christ, did we all have that in our notes?
Oh,
It's
hell
the first note I wrote.
Which confirms
The first
he's
note I
in the
wrote.
real army, right?
Right, like the first thing I wrote AEW, and then I wrote nincompoop.
I hope that becomes...
And then Jericho right after said, haha, poop.
Yeah.
That becomes a shirt. We all got to get that shit.
If there's a nincompoop
absolutely.
shirt, I'm buying the trash out of that.
No, Jay, I'll help sue them.
After this, JR, Tony, and Excalibur run down the lineup for tonight's show, and we kick off the action with Dark Order. They all come out. Brody makes a stupid speech. The spectators are yelling at him that he stole the title. I thought that was funny. And we get 10 versus John Moxley. How did you guys like this kickoff to AEW Dynamite?
Okay, hold on. Just before that, I actually... So I guess the drunker I get, the more things I see. I don't even understand how that makes, because my brain should not be working. The intro for AEW had like the golf cart incident with Sammy Guerrero, which was 2 weeks before. So that got me wondering, like, do they put new clips in every week? Because I really haven't been noticing or paying attention to it. Nobody pays attention to the intro video. Like, you watch it a couple times and then you're just like, all right, whatever, it's the intro video. You know, whatever. You're like, if you're eating and watching like me, you're going, you know, you're getting good bites in before the wrestling happens. Or if you're drinking like me, you're drinking, you're pouring or grabbing a beer. But I happen to notice that the intro had like newer clips in it with older clips. So now I'm just wondering, do they do that every week? Like, is that like just some production thing they're trying to do to keep you entertained every week?
Well, yeah, probably, because they
I'm
don't
not
have much to
sure.
do because of the quarantine shit.
I mean, yeah. Also, like that was such a meme, like a memed moment, such like a popular, like popularly shared moment that I feel like they kind of like just like, you know, let's capitalize on this. Let's put it in the intro. I don't know if they do it every week per se, but I think something like that's like something they're like, you know, we gotta have this in there.
Right, but I mean, like the AEW. Let's be honest, the AEW IG account is way more, I guess, up to culture than the NXT meme account or the WWE meme account. Like they find reasons to like use the current meme trends in the account with the show. So I'm just wondering, like, do they take like high spots of each week and just like, no, let's put this in this week and then we'll find something next week? Are they deliberately trying to set up spots like that to find stuff, or was it just like, yeah, like, come on, the golf cart thing was too funny not to use? Like, will it be there next week, which is what I'm saying? Like, will they use something from the pay-per-view and substitute that next week?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the destruction of fucking Vanguard in that promo. I mean, the opening vignette.
In a week or so?
Yeah, pretty much. 10 versus Mox. 10 dressed like a baseball player. Did you guys give a shit about this match? And did you think Moxley looked strong?
Go ahead, Brettzky. You got it.
All right. I liked it. I mean, I thought the promo. I love Mr. Brody Lee's character work. It's been great, and you know, it gets better every week, and I really like that. So the promo we got before that was interesting. I like the fact that they mixed things up, and I like the fact that they had the world champ on as the opener, not in a championship match, obviously, but I like the fact that they had that be the opener, because it kind of makes it so that it's like, listen, this is ultimately the most important feud, but every feud is of equal importance, which I liked. I liked that a lot. The match was good. I feel like the one thing I noticed, two things I noticed. One is that 10, or whatever hell his name used to be, was solid in the ring, and it made Mox look strong, and it also made 10 look strong, stronger than he did. Number two is that I don't know where the fuck Evil Uno was. I didn't see Evil Uno. So it makes me feel like even though there could be quarantine stuff going on, I feel like there could be like a 10 versus Evil Uno feud happening down the line, which I wouldn't mind. But I like the match. I think it was a solid way to open the show. It was an interesting way to open the show with Mox. It made Mox look good. The post-match shenanigans were really good, really well executed, and I like that a lot. Yeah, so that's really my thoughts on it.
What do you think, Ceizar?
All right. Brody's promos. I wrote notes that Brody made his promo talk about, oh, I'm not a god, I'm a man, but he kept referencing that he is elite, and it's all elite wrestling. And then I gotta disagree with you, Brettzky, for just a little bit, just on the fact that Mox. Okay, if Brody has his championship and Mox is willing to fight everybody, like we saw when he tried to fight the Inner Circle, his entrance, he was literally around the corner. He was literally 20 seconds away from the ring. The man cut a 7-minute promo. Brody cut a 7-minute promo in the ring, and then Mox was just around the corner, and he waits for him to leave, but wants him to come back. He was literally right there with your belt in the ring. And then I kind of don't like the champs up first when throughout the night they promote that their match is the main event, knowing it's going on last. So why is he on first for the go-home show, knowing he's going to be on last for the pay-per-view? I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. That's the only part I disagree with. I did like the match. Yeah, 10 can go. 10's decent in the ring. I wrote, did Mox hit 10 with the sticks at him? That pile driver he did. And then the way he was cutting his promos, he was like, "You took my property." I was like, "Yo, is Mox Southern? Is he motherfucker from like South Carolina or something?" Like, the way he kept saying "my property" just seemed real Southern to me, and like off his character. Like, that's some real Southern shit. That's some country shit. So that geeked me out. But the match I thought was good. Yeah.
I think the reason why Moxley came out first is because Dynamite wanted to kick off with a really good start. So they wanted to draw eyes, and who better than the AEW World Champion to come out
No, true.
and show off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the notes that I wrote were that he hit 3 finishers in a row on this motherfucker: the Dirty Deeds, the Gotch Pile Driver, and the Paradigm Shift, destroying the guy. He throws chairs into the ring, looking to break.
Hits him with the first chair.
One hit him.
Yeah, the first one hit him.
Poor guy. What was his name, Ceizar? Do you remember who he was before he was 10?
I do not know who he was before he was.
I know
Yeah.
they mentioned
They
it.
said
I
it.
didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down.
Brody
Nor did I.
on the screen, saying you made it personal, and then Mox eventually busts 10's arm. I don't know if that's gonna carry forth to the pay-per-view. Maybe he comes out in a fucking cast, or maybe, like you guys said,
Right.
maybe Evil Uno does reappear and takes his place. Who knows? Then we had MJF coming out, and I wrote with an exclamation mark because I fail to bring this up every time you guys are on here. Do you guys miss when people's Titantrons had wrestling highlights in it as opposed to just their name pulsating?
Yes.
This
Wait.
MJF.
So you like the wrestling? Yeah, go ahead.
You remember when like Stone Cold's entrance video has him hitting the stunner on everybody?
Right.
Nowadays, it just shows people's names and it pulsates, or it has some weird graphic behind it, like Dexter Lumis or Velveteen Dreams. They don't have wrestling highlights in their fucking Titantrons anymore. Kind of bummed out about that, but MJF's did.
I think because, like, you know, they used to show those reels when people, like, you would see people walk out, then they would go to the reel, and then you would see them like enter the ring. Versus now, it's all about, like, people have a whole thing. Like Adam Cole has a whole thing to where he goes to the ring, so they wouldn't want to pan away to the.
No, they never panned away though. I mean, it was like in the background.
Yeah, it's a back.
Like on the Titantron.
Yeah. But sometimes, like the Rock's, you would always watch the Rock's Titantron when he came out until he got to the top of the ring and then started to walk. But now people don't have like those long entrances, like, you know, like Jericho's. You would always see the Titantron count down until you zoomed in. So
But isn't that before they came out though?
it's right before, and some people's would be like sometimes they would pan the Stone Cold right when he comes out, like especially if you had the glass breaking or something, then you would watch it. But some people's, yeah, they showed the promo. They at least showed the Titantron for 10 seconds. They don't show the Titantron anymore. So that's what I feel like.
I miss that the creative entrance videos with the wrestling highlights in them. It makes them seem more badass as opposed to just the pulsating name. But I digress. After the commercial,
Yeah, I mean, it's the little things. It's the little things.
MJF faces this was a highly anticipated match. I mean, the menacing Marco Stunt returns to take on MJF. What did you guys think about this incredibly hard-hitting competitive matchup?
Go ahead first, Brettzky, because I got a lot of shit I got to say.
Oh wait,
in general. But...
Wait, before you start, JR does mention Shad's passing during this. I thought that was really nice of them to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Caesar, I'll go first then. My biggest takeaway from this, well, I mean, one of my bigger takeaways from this is how much I love Shawn Spears, because you just heard him in the background a bunch, you can do it, and you had those stupid noisemakers,
and he said make noise. Yes, I wrote that down.
Oh, that popped the fuck out of me when it said make noise, and he hit him at the camera. No, Shawn Spears is getting really over with me, and I love it because I like Ty Dillinger, and what he did later in the night, we'll get to it later, but he's just doing everything right. But the match, whatever, it was just a way to get to the match with Jungle Boy. This is what I like about AEW over WWE though, is that Jungle Boy versus MJF had no build to it, but they announced it and made a build to it. WWE, they announced a match that has no build, and Lashley versus Black, and they still do nothing to build it. So that was something I like, how they're still at least trying to build it up now. Wardlow tripping was really funny, and props to him saving it.
Yes, I wrote
props to him saving it, though, and getting right in Luchasaurus' face. I want to see Luchasaurus versus Wardlow. That'll be phenomenal.
JR said it too.
Yep. Yeah, echoing the words of good old JR. But yeah, this is just really Marco Stunt showing that he has heart, and MJF showing that he's a real piece of shit. And it was just like an effective transition match to build up for the eventual pay-per-view. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It did what it needed to do. I will say, though, MJF has vastly improved in ring.
Ceizar.
All right, man. So my number one thing I hate about AEW is those fucking See, man, Graham, this is why I fucks with you. Finish my sentences. So let me get to my notes on the match. The thing I wrote MJF. Well, no, actually, I said Wardlow had a Burberry tie. I did not notice until now because MJF has the Burberry scarf that he comes out with all the time. Fucking JR popped me with Wardlow is the biggest ring bearer I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah,
because he always takes the ring from MJF. Yeah. But the Burberry tie, the attention to detail, the Burberry tie with the Burberry scarf, fucking gold. Love that. I wrote tripping. Then I wrote like 2 squashes in a row. Kind of not the way I would start a show, but all right, I get it. Go ahead. My thing is the comments they write on the ranking things. When the guys come out, there's always a comment. Now, if it's always a funny comment, I get it. But the comment on MJF's was 6-0 this year. Won his last 6 matches. He won his last 6 matches, right? All right, and that's this year. But if you go to the AEW rankings, and I wrote down last week's and this week's, there is nobody that's 6-0 right now. I mean, Cody's 9-1 this year, and the Murder Hawk, who is fighting Cody for that TNT title, which MJF wasn't a part of the tournament, is 5-0 this year. So why is MJF not on the ranking for the AEW championship when there's guys who are 5-0, 4-0, that's Kenny, 4-0, that's Brody Wee, this is last week, and 5-3, which is Darby. And even after Wednesday, and they count AEW Dark, which we don't see, which is on Tuesdays on YouTube, they count that for rankings.
Wait a minute, MJF
So
is not ranked at all?
Nope, he's not in the top 5. It is Cody, Murderhawk, Kenny, Brody, Darby. And then after this week, it's Cody, Murderhawk, Brody, Kenny, and Darby.
Wow.
But MJF isn't ranked. He was ranked like 3 weeks ago before Rona, or 6 weeks ago, before Rona happened, because he had been winning, and he was 6 weeks in. And then he couldn't show up, I guess probably because of travel restrictions. And they replaced him with people who are replaceable. And then even, which we'll talk about later, the Sean Spears thing. Sean Spears, who has been wrestling, who has benefited from Rona, he's been wrestling on Dark and on AEW, said like he's been like even winning matches and has a record. I didn't look up his record. I probably should have. And he's like, I don't even have a match for the pay-per-view. Well, how come I'm not ranked? I mean, that might be a shot at creative with this ranking thing, but I'm just saying. I am just saying.
Well, I'm slowly falling in love with MJF. The way this dude.
Well, first of all, I've been in love. I've been in love with MJF. I've said it from jump. EC3 even said it. MJF is what EC3 should have been on WWE television.
MJF's heel.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Brett.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah.
MJF's heel work, everything from him in the audience betting with Sean Spears and telling the cameraman to stay 6 feet away, all these little heel jerkish details that he does. And then this week, when he had Marco Stunt in a headlock, he shouts, "Whose child is this?"
Yeah.
That was fucking funny, dude. I popped big time for that. And Tony Schiavone just hating MJF. Every chance he gets, insults him, calls him a big mouth brat. MJF wins with this salt of the earth armbar. MJF then clocks Marco with the diamond ring. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus for the save. And then what Brett alluded to earlier, you could see the cool being sucked out of his body as this big menacing man in a nice suit fucking stumbles and trips on his way up the stairs. But then redeems himself by just mad dogging, getting right in the grill of Luchasaurus. This was a very entertaining match, very entertaining segment. I loved it.
Right. But
you know,
but the first 2 matches like literally went the same. It was a squash and then a promo after the match, after a squash. Like it literally started off that way both times, because MJF got on the mic right after he beat Marco Stunt and talked shit to him, and John Moxley beat 10 and then talked shit to the Dark Order. It was literally same concept, but different. One face, one heel. Like I don't think that's really necessary back to back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, something I really liked though, that was really subtle storytelling, but I really liked, was when Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus rushed the ring. MJF booked it, but Wardlow walked out really slowly and was still in the ring when Jungle Boy was in there, and they didn't go for him. And I love that, because it's like they're so focused on MJF, and it was funny, but it was also really good, really serious, like good storytelling. It was also funny at the same time. Like they rushed the ring, MJF books it, gets the hell out of there, and Wardlow's just kind of there looking at him, just kind of slowly saunters out of the ring. There's a great subtlety.
Right, because remember, I think the week before, Wardlow threw Jungle Boy into the fucking the barricade things, and then that's where they had beef because they were fighting the best friends. And then after the match, MJF and Wardlow came out and he just chucked Jungle Boy like he won't shit into the barricade. So of course Jungle Boy ain't gonna fuck with him because he's like, yeah, all right, this motherfucker gonna fuck me up. But yeah, he'll wait till Luchasaurus gets there. So I mean, I thought it was great storytelling as well.
Up next, we get the 2 old men, Jake the Snake and Arn Anderson, coming out to the ring, cutting promos on each other. And my God, Jake the Snake still got it. You could he makes you believe he's that slimy, evil, old fucking grouch. And last week, by the way, I forgot we never went over it because I took a break. But last week, Jake the Snake says before he gets it on with his woman, he watches Archer's matches, which was very, very strange. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but that's a very strange thing to say. But he continues his sliminess during this interview. He just cuts a seething interview on Arn Anderson. And in my head, I'm thinking, how the fuck is Arn going to come back from this? But he eventually does. Pisses him off. But I wrote down here that, of course, Tony hosted this sit-down interview. Jake calls Arn thick and that he got a pass to get out of the home to come here to cut this promo because he's been gone for a couple months. Arn is glad Jake is doing DDP yoga because he's going to spinebuster his ass at Double or Nothing. What did you guys think of this promo? And do you think who cut the better promo? The answer might be obvious, but Arn did get a rise out of Jake.
Jake cut the better promo. It took Arn a while to get his footing. There's also like weird at the beginning when they kind of kept on interrupting each other and stuff like that. But Jake had a better promo overall. Arn had a great end to his promo. That was a phenomenal end. My favorite part of all of this is Jake targeting Brandy and being like, "Oh, I hope that bimbo Brandy's out to the ringside." I love that. It's so seedy and also so great. My one wish is that Brandy turns on Cody and joins Archer and Jake. That would be great. It won't happen, but that would be great.
Ceizar.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I skipped this shit. Once it got too weird for me in the beginning, I thought it was gonna be trash. I totally fast forward through the whole thing and the commercial. I'll go back and watch it, but I totally fast forwarded.
It was decent because it just showed that Jake still got it, and he can make you feel uncomfortable at home watching him cut a heel promo.
All right, well, I'll go back and watch it, but like I said, yeah, on that day, I was getting late, and I watched NXT first. So, yeah, fast forwarded.
Did you catch the Darby Allin black and white poker video promoting his...
Yes, I did. I did see that.
Was good.
Where he was on fire on top of the fucking ladder?
Ladder, yeah.
That was fucking badass. I like how everyone was wearing the mask and shit. That dude, he's going to make short movies once he gets crippled from wrestling someday.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely be great.
Well, after the commercial break, we get a weird Pac video promo. That's all I wrote, but yeah.
I liked it. I didn't think it was weird. I liked it.
Well, I mean, weird can be good. Who was the dude next to him in the mask? Who was that?
It was him. It was him.
That was him?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
Just like he was talking, and then like it was him wrestling, but he had the germ mask on, like, you know, a mask you're supposed to wear out on the streets. It was literally him.
Oh, I thought that might have been one of the Lucha Bros because, you know, they're in a faction together. And
No, it was him. So when he had like two personalities, he can be a smooth talker dressed up sophisticated, and then when he's in the ring, he's like a fucking killer. Because he was just laughing at fucking Orange Cassidy getting kicked in the head over and over and over. Like, that's some psychopathic shit. Like, but he was laughing at it in the beginning. I thought it was great.
Well, Brettzky, who do you think Pac should feud with when he comes back eventually?
Well, are you saying Pac or are you saying Death Triangle?
They could be both.
I would love to see kind of like a heel versus heel Death Triangle versus Dark Order.
That could be
I think that could be interesting. But yeah, like I like, this was a really cool promo. I agree with Ceizar. I liked it. I liked kind of the like, not split personality, but like the ability to kind of show it's like, listen, you know, it's like, you know, I'm meat in the streets, but I'm a freak in the sheets kind of mentality.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot. I think the one thing I did note though is that I always forget how much of a lisp he has. And then like he'll say something like Orange Cassidy, and I'm like, oh boy, that's right. You know?
I thought that was his accent.
Is it his accent or is it the lisp?
It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, because he's from he's a Brit, right?
Yeah, he can't. Travel ban. He can't get across either. Yeah.
But props to him for making a promo though, and like, actually staying on TV.
It was
Well,
definitely
like that's the thing though. Like they were gonna fight the best friends, and I think all three. Because at the last pay per view, Orange fought Pac, and he like took Pac to the limit. Yeah, he lost, but he took Pac to the limit. So I think they should come back and finish this feud. And then I mean, I can bring up more shit that happened later on. But like if the best friends like win the tag belts, then definitely that gives them more of a thing with Pac versus Orange, and you know the other motherfuckers versus best friends for the tag championships.
Which would be a great fucking match also.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Lucha Bros versus. Yeah. Oh my God, it'd be so good. It'd be so fucking good.
speaking of
And all the singles matches you could have, because like because all the time they had like Trent have the singles match. You know, they're all great singles competitors. So you have like Trent versus Ray Phoenix. Oh man.
And Chuck versus Pac or Trent versus Pac. Like Trent and Kenny was fucking killer a couple. What was that 3 weeks ago?
Oh my God, yeah.
That shit went to the
Oh,
limit.
great.
She was awesome. Yeah, she was awesome. So.
Well, speaking of Orange Cassidy, he comes out for his matchup, and fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Orange Cassidy dodges Ray Phoenix's kick this time and just casually gets into the ring versus Ray Phoenix, my favorite for the Casino Ladder match. This, fellas, was...
Well, we can talk about that later. We can talk about that later, too. So
This was the highlight of the show. Ray Phoenix versus Orange Cassidy. Ceizar, how many slices would you give this incredible matchup, and what did you think about it?
Okay. I got to go front to back. Can't go slices first. Got to go front to back. So, I like that they set up the thing again. I like that even like 5 minutes into the match, Ray Phoenix took off his shirt, because halfway trying Orange Cassidy is hella lit. He's more lit than just I'm in the match and then get pissed off Orange Cassidy. Halfway Orange Cassidy was fucking gold. The way he still rolled into the ring. He shoot off the guys. First of all, attention to detail to Chuck. Chuck does that dumb run out every time he's not wrestling. If you watch the intro again, Chuck does that like where he's moving his arms real fast and like kicking his legs behind his back, almost hitting his ass, jog out. That's really slow. He does that every time he comes out without wrestling. That's attention to detail. It's the little things. Randy Orton, quote me on that. So this match was lit. It was the match of the night. It would have been the match of the week without the fuck shit ending. I'm sorry. I think I gotta give Roddy and Jerk Off Loomis the match of the week just because it had an ending. But they both had shit afterwards. Which I like. It was literally both great matches. They went on at the same time. Like you can't predict that. I mean, that's just fucking odds. This match was good. Halfway, Orange got in the ring. He took his jacket off. He took the shirt off. He threw the shades at the ref, pulled the fucking armband out, just the one armband, and started going to work instantly. He wasn't halfway fucking with it. He was dodging, moving. The turnbuckle jump, so he kicked the turnbuckle, then the dodge, so he hit his head on the turnbuckle. Like, Orange was killing it. He hit both his DDTs. He hit the air raid crash, which I think one of those three moves should be his finisher. Like, so I'm kind of on some fuck shit about that. Like, that diving DDT should be Orange's finisher.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite.
That was great.
I loved it.
He doesn't miss. He does not miss with that move. He does not. I also wrote down, they called it the Rising Strike. I was like, bitch, please. That's a Superman punch.
Yeah.
All right. Really, I wrote the Rising Strike. Nigga, that's a Superman punch. Yeah. So I really wrote that. I was a little lit. And then I was like, why the fuck shit ending? I get it. You're trying to hype the Money in the Bank match. I'm just going to call it a Money in the Bank match. I don't give a fuck what they call it. I'm calling it a Money in the Bank match. Why the fuck shit ending? I mean, you could have had an ending and then Kip Sabian could have just came out there fucking around and then they could have had the after fuck shit like they did. One point I thought Ray Phoenix was paralyzed, and then I thought Colt Cabana was paralyzed, and then I thought Orange Cassidy was paralyzed. So then I wrote everybody dead. There's only going to be 5 people in this match. 3 people just broke their back. But damn, if that shit wasn't lit. That whole match was great. The reversals, the finish, both reversals, both trying to pin each other earlier. Both started at the same time, so I didn't like I'm a fan of top of the hour. I'm sorry. I'm a fan on TV. Top of the hour should start a match, a high-profile match, a good match. Both the best matches started at 8:50 and went to like 9:10, 9:12.
Well, Brettzky.
That's just me.
Brettzky,
Brettzky, yeah. Go ahead, Max Poetic.
I think we got a question answered. Orange Cassidy wears the same fucking jeans in every match because these jeans took about as much damage as Orange's chest did. With the pants splitting, what did you think about this match?
So I'm gonna break it down from the beginning to the end, right? The beginning of Ray Phoenix going for the thing, Orange dodging it, and just the dual shot of Orange just kind of just like not giving 2 shits. And then Ray Phoenix kind of standing there like, what the fuck? And just was gold. That popped me really a lot. That was really well done. And just like kind of Phoenix kind of standing there kind of like looking like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like how the fuck did that happen? And then him like kind of realizing, oh shit, I gotta have a match was great. The match itself was great. I agree. It's like, I like that because you can't keep Orange Cassidy. That was the one problem. You couldn't keep him with that, I don't get in the ring. Haha, I make fun of everyone. You can't have that forever. As great as it is, you can't have that forever. I like that that they're giving us him in spurts of different forms of his character, of not trying at all, not trying in the beginning, getting pissed in the middle, trying from the beginning, half trying. I like that they're doing that integration of different types of Orange Cassidy. The match itself was a banger. Kip Sabian coming out and sitting on top of that ladder was really fucking funny to me. Because he's just like, oh yeah, don't worry, don't mind me. I didn't know what he was gonna do. Then he just kind of sat there. That was funny. SCU coming out and doing that shit was funny. That's the one reason that the fuck shit ending didn't bother me as much, just because it was entertaining and it didn't like stop the match entirely. Like the match ended and immediately went into chaos, so I didn't mind it as much. Yeah,
but it was a low blow. But it was a low blow roll up, so that's why I didn't like about it.
I agree with that. Like, I didn't like it, but I don't mind it as much as I would have if they just kind of stopped it there.
I get you. Okay.
Well,
but like, I think that jumping DDT needs to be his finisher because that is fucking beautiful.
That shit needs to be called no pulp or some fuck shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
like concentrated or something like that.
I still like the attention to detail when Phoenix was on the top rope and then he was like trying to like hit Cassidy with some shit and fucking Cassidy put his hands in his pocket and powered out of getting hold and then headbutted him. Like the attention to detail in this match was so good. I like the way Orange can hulk up at times. And then when he puts the hands in the pockets, he still gets like a little bit of juice just because he powered out of that and headbutted him. And then Phoenix hit him with a sunset powerbomb. So it's not like, he was going to Hurricane Run him with the hands in the pocket. He still took a move after that. It's just that, you got to respect the character enough to know that when the hands are in the pocket, that's when his business. Because he started the match with the hands in the pocket and still
yep.
That match was great storytelling.
Did you like how Did you like how JR said, this kid's got 15 years in the business? Like he was all surprised.
Yeah, he looks like a baby. He looks like he's 18 years old. They were like, well,
I didn't even realize that. When he said that, I was like, holy shit, he's been in this for 15 years? That's
great. I literally said the same thing. I also wrote notes. I also wrote notes with 3
years old when this guy started. Like, that's impossible.
That's what I'm saying. I wrote notes that when shit was breaking down, they were like, this is turning into a Donnybrook, and then this is turning into a Pier Sixer. And I was like, what the fuck is a? And they're like, what, JR? This is a Pier 6 brawl. I literally Googled Pier 6 brawl. It goes back to wrestling, and it talks about a broadcaster who apparently stole the phrase. He's credited with starting the phrase a Pier 6 brawl. and that is like the definition of when like a match breaks down and all hell breaks loose. So it's literally another version of Slobber Knocker, a Pier 6 brawl.
So I like how
I literally Googled it.
I like how they're changing it up and giving us new terms to say. But in my notes, I just put there Ray Phoenix is amazing. And I thought that the most brutal action we were going to see was during the commercial break because it did the picture-in-picture where Phoenix was fucking up OC and he even drop kicked him into the camera guy. And but I was wrong because seeing Ray Phoenix dive over the fucking top rope and he landed on his hip and it looked like he hurt himself. I was nervous about that. I hope they don't replace him this Saturday. Hopefully.
No, he's apparently fine.
Yeah.
But,
okay, good, because that looks fucking brutal. And all these fucking are diving over the top rope just like him too.
Yeah, like the fucking best friends when they put the arms together and threw Cassidy over, like that shit. And he hit the fucking barricade. Like his feet hit the barricade. I don't know if he clipped the top or if he just kind of drop kicked him. And then Colt Cabana, when he did the moonsault, like I think only one person like caught him. So I'm hoping he's okay. But like,
watch that back. Colt Cabana, his right foot landed on someone's head on the way down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It might have been guy's head.
But that's what Baron Corbin was talking about with AEW. Like everybody dives during a match. Like at some point, it's got to stop, bro.
Well, the match.
I do like though when everyone's gripe with them is like how they'll wait for the dive and they'll stare up. They were trying. I saw them. They were waiting for Phoenix. They looked up every now and then, but they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying to catch him because I'll give you this. That motherfucker was floating in the air like MJ in the 90s, baby. He was floating. I was like, damn, this motherfucker ain't going to fall no time soon. And then I was just like, oh, nobody caught him. That shit's got to hurt.
Yeah, that was...
Well, like you guys said, Kip Sabian eventually brings out a ladder to distract Orange Cassidy. Phoenix then, with the distraction with the ref, hits a low blow and a cutter for the win. This casino, well, fuck it. Money in the Bank ladder match is going to be fucking off. I cannot wait to see this.
I really hope that, because the rules are it's basically like a gauntlet match. It's like essentially a Royal Rumble ladder match. I really hope there's so much like intrigue over who this mystery ninth man is. I really hope that, because they said whoever gets it and wins. It doesn't matter if everyone comes out yet. Yeah, I hope in the first 5 minutes, the first two guys are out. No one else comes out. Some guy wins. I hope, just like to fuck us all over. I hope so.
All right. That's so crazy because that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping like before even the ninth man enters. I hope the ninth man is the last guy, and I'm hoping before he enters and comes to the ring, somebody gets it. Like the eighth guy comes out. We all know who's out. They're just fighting, and I hope somebody gets it then. And like, as soon as the guy comes out, you're like, "Oh shit, it's him!" And then like somebody grabs the fucking thing, and they're like,
"Yeah,"
and they're like, "Just match over."
I know
this guy's got a title shot.
We'll get to it later during predictions, but did you guys catch all three of the commentators kept saying the same thing? You reach up and grab the chip. Is it gonna be a fucking poker chip?
Yeah, it's going to be like hopefully it's a big chip, but it is going to be a chip. Yeah.
No, it's like that one chip that they balanced it on like the hook. Like a real poker chip, they balanced it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see, but let's go ahead and get through this episode so we can get on to predictions. We got that Chris Statlander with that donk teaming with Hikaru Shida with the worst music ever versus the Dennis Britt Baker and AEW Women's Champion Nyla Rose. I like her music, by the way. What did you guys think of this matchup? I thought the women did. They showed up for this one, except for that thing I sent you guys in the chat last night. I thought this was a pretty good matchup. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought so. It was pretty good. It wasn't phenomenal, obviously, but for a women's tag match, like it was better than most I've seen. For a few things, I don't like that Nyla pinned Shida. because they've been saying she's the number one contender for 12 weeks. Why pin her? But also, why pin Statlander? I feel like someone should have pinned Baker to win. And then have like Nyla and them go on a rampage afterwards. The one thing I will say though, the one thing that I immediately think of every time I see Nyla with the kendo stick is that it's very ironic that Nyla's the one carrying around the massive stick.
Oh man,
That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny.
well, Ceizar, what did you think? Were you impressed by the women in this match?
Oh, I thought it was all right. I laughed more at the entrance because when Statlander came out and she booped all the faces, somebody, like, JR and them were like, "Yo, what is she doing?" She goes, "That's," and then Tony was like, "That's how she says hi." Excalibur was like, she boops everybody on the nose, and then JR was like, "Tony, you been booped?" He's like, "Yeah, plenty of times. Yeah, I've been booped plenty of times." And then JR was like, "It's been a while." And then Tony's like, "You goddamn right it is," or some shit like that. I was like, "You dirty old men. You dirty old men are not talking about what y'all should be talking about." So I laughed at that. I don't know. I mean, I see where you're coming from, Brettzky, with Sheeta not being pinned, but then you got to think that Nia Rose, her whole promo shit is that she's the beast and she doesn't lose. So of course she gets the pin. She said she's going to be a one-time champion. So, I mean, Britt Baker's fighting Statlander at the pay-per-view, apparently.
Yeah.
So I get it why they're not in the match because they're going to have their match. But, you know, I mean, to set it up, they both, like Nyla got the win, but then she suplexed that fat bitch through a table like 10 seconds later. So, I mean, I don't know. It's still like kind of, if Nia would have got the win and they left, then yeah, I would say she just win the title. But she put that bitch through a table, so now I can say that one-on-one, definitely Nyla's coming back with it.
An interesting thing I noticed during the commercial break, Britt Baker she refused to get into the match the whole time, but during the commercial break, Nyla grabbed her by the throat and fucking made her tag in. I thought that was pretty funny. What else did you?
And then Nyla dragged Britt Baker to the corner to tag herself back in for the ending of the match.
Yeah,
when Britt was getting beat up.
Did Britt injure her knee? Because we didn't see her after that, right? The ref was.
No. She was still there, and then she broke down, and then when it got done, she was at the timekeeper's table. If you notice, when she got the table, Britt was just over there chilling, like where they keep the water and stuff. She was like over there sitting down, and they kind of like panned back away to the ring. So I hope she's okay. But I don't.
Me too.
But we'll see.
And like you said, Nyla sets up the table, puts Sheeta on it. Chris distracts her. Sheeta suplexes that fat bitch through the table. And then they made that match a no DQ match now between Nyla and Sheeta. That should be interesting as well.
You know what I noticed about that also is in the promo package for it, it's a little thing like this that annoys me. It says no disqualifications, no count out. Like no shit. If it's no DQ, then it's no count out.
Yeah.
True.
They should have just put Extreme Rules match.
That's all you gotta say.
After the commercial break, we get a new segment, which I was a fan of. I actually, like you guys said earlier, Shawn Spears is shining with this. He's been winning matches, showing charisma, the surprised reaction on his face they always cut to whenever something happens in the ring. And now he gets Shawn Spears news, and he says, "Breaking news, Dustin retires." And then he complains that he doesn't have a match at Double or Nothing, and just randomly challenges Dustin, and apparently it's booked. What did you guys think about this news segment? Were you a fan of it, or did it annoy you like the Street Profits and their Saturday Night Live gimmick?
Personally, I love this because I also loved the old Randy Orton. I mean, I didn't see them live, but I've watched them back. The old Randy Orton news segments from when he was injured, back before Evolution. Like I saw that in the doc for Evolution, and I watched them back. Those are fucking hilarious. They kind of reminisce on that with MJF giving his injury updates, but I love it because Shawn Spears can talk. He's average in the ring. So to the point where it's not like I don't want to see his match, but like if all he did was I'm a wrestler, then he won't get over. Him doing this shit, because Dustin never actually retired. He just made all that shit up, and then he's like, you know what? Why don't you come out of retirement and fight me? Like, it's so good, and I hope they do more of this because the logo looking like CNN, but it's SNN. All of it was great. It was gold. Shawn Spears is growing on me more and more every week. I fucking loved it.
Ceizar.
Yeah, same thing, man. Look, I've been a Ty Dilly fan since AEW. I always thought the character work was great. I always thought Ty Dilly was a way better heel than face. It just happens. You get over. You want to yell 10. You want to do dumb shit. I mean, he's the perfect heel with moniker shit with people in the ring. I still think it's a dig that he has Josiah Williams as his fucking entrance music for AEW. A WWE hired guy. AEW theme music. I will always think that is great attention to detail and a great fuck you to Vince. So I thought this bit was awesome. Yeah, like he said, I'll just talk about it. I'll just make it. Because if I say it, they have to do it. And then really in the segment afterward, JR was literally like, you want to book it? Tony's like, yeah, let's book it. Fine, we'll book it. Shawn Spears versus Dustin in a match. Like, they literally were like, yo, let's talk about it. Like, he said it, let's talk about it. I mean, he mentioned it. The pay-per-view Saturday, fuck it, we'll talk about it. We'll book it. Let's book it. Like, they literally just shot it off the cuff. Like he's got stroke. Like, has he been profiting during this Corona shit? Yes. But has he held up his end of the bargain? Yes. And I agree with Brettzky. He's average. Maybe I would give him slightly above average. Like, he can't get anybody over. He's not that good in a match. But when he wrestles like with good wrestlers, it's a great match. Like, I'm like that TNT tournament match he had with Cody was awesome. It was a great match. Yeah. So like when he wrestles with great talent, I mean, it's a great match, and he can sell whether he's going to win or lose, whether he's a heel or face. I would say, like, if he probably had to wrestle Marco or Jungle Boy, it'd probably be boring. Like, you're not gonna tune in. Like, he can't get somebody over, but he can definitely hold water with great guys in the business. So I digged it. I think it needs to keep happening. He's gotten over. Yeah, he's never had a problem talking. Ever. I don't think he's ever had a problem talking. Yeah, so his in-ring work is getting better because he had to wrestle, and he's probably wrestling on Dark as well, too. And like I said, when I brought it up earlier, he's like, yo, I've been wrestling in matches. I got a pretty good record. How come I'm not ranked? How come I don't even have a match? Like, those are great things. Even if it is a shoot to say that, those are even great things as a heel to say to make you think it's a shoot on a program. And then, yeah, what do? You get a pay-per-view match.
Indeed. Up next, the main event. I'm just going to run off my notes here. On paper, this didn't look like much. I was like, Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy, I guess, whatever. But the match itself was very fucking good. Apparently, Damascus is a cannibal because he always bites everybody. I love this more aggressive Matt Hardy. He's finally showing a super... He was probably like this in Ring of Honor. I just never watched. This is a new side of Matt Hardy I'm seeing, and I like it. I like how Sammy avoided the twist of fate, like Ricochet avoided the RKO. I thought that was
awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Eventually, he sold it like a champ, man. Sammy ate that fucking twist of fate like hardcore. Hardy
ate it like steak.
Hardy takes off Sammy's boot to bite his foot. I thought that was funny. And then Hardy eventually wins after the second twist of fate. And of course, Jericho in the inner circle have Omega up against a goalpost, hitting him with a bat, enticing Matt Hardy to come out there. A brawl ensues with all of the elite and the inner circle. One of the Bucks called them the inner circle jerk. I got a laugh out of that. What are your guys' thought on the entire
I missed that. Oh my god.
segment?
I mean, good.
It
You
was
got
fun.
it, bro.
It was fun. I mean, yeah, the same thing. Like, I figured it would be like decent. The Guevara Sammy versus Hardy, but it definitely blew my expectations away. It wasn't as good as Cassidy versus Phoenix, but it was still a very good main event. And it had the story built in. Again, the same kind of thing with the counter to the Twist of Fate was phenomenal. My favorite part of the brawl though was I looked in the middle of it. I kind of looked and I saw I thought it was a guy running, and I'm like, oh, it looks like a ref. And he came out of the tunnel on the 50 and he just charged down. And I'm like, oh, is that supposed to be there? He's like a ref breaking it up. And then just fucking Hangman Page fucking decking Jake Hager. And it was so fucking funny, but also so badass. Like, he just did a 50-yard sprint, probably plus, because he had to run from the tunnel, and just decked the guy. That was great. I think the brawl was a lot of fun. Even though I'm not going to buy the pay-per-view, I'm sure that match is going to be very fucking fun.
Ceizar?
Yeah. So yeah. When the match first started with Sammy versus Matt Hardy, like everybody else, I was like, it could be good, could be bad, but do I really care? I was like, is this the main event? I was like, is this going to be better than Orange? I don't know. So I kind of watched it lackadaisical, and I watched it so late because I got a midnight snack, and then I was watching something else, so I fell asleep, and I had to watch it again this morning, and so I gave it the attention it deserved. It was a great match. Thought it was really good. Sammy dodging. Sammy's still wrestling without the shoe near the end. I thought it was great. Yeah, sells it like a champ. Sammy's good, man. He's great. If you check his stat when he comes out, it says I've won like 7 out of 8 matches this year. He's not ranked anymore either. Just saying. Dumb ranking shit. I don't get how it works. Just saying, my main bane of existence for AEW. I do not like it. But then, when I was watching the brawl happen with Jericho with that fucking bat again, I don't know why he has a bat. Like you mentioned that. Why does he have the bat? With Jericho and that fucking bat again. And they're beating up Kenny, and then Matt Hardy runs out.
What does he call the bat? Butch or Mitch or what does he call it?
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember what he calls it. Yeah, I can't remember what he calls it. But yeah, he fucking beating Kenny up with a bat, and then the Bucks come out with masks on, like they're trying to keep 6 feet, and then just beat up the inner circle. So yeah, and then the first thing I thought when I saw somebody come out of the tunnel, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I know this ain't no goddamn Hangman. I know this ain't no goddamn Hangman. And I was like, if this is Hangman and this motherfucker's trucking 50 yards for a fucking boot or a clothesline, I was like, bitch, I'm about to get out some bourbon and drink some cowboy shit. Lo and behold, I had to go to the closet and get some bourbon because it was some cowboy shit. And then I had to pause it because I was like, this motherfucker's running in boots. He ran in boots. He ran out the tunnel, made a sharp ass right, sprinted 50 yards. That is 150 feet, right? 3 times, right? Yeah. 3 feet per yard. Motherfucker ran 150 feet for a clothesline and then proceeded to whoop ass and then left after the fighting was done. Walked out, said, bitch, I'm going to get a beer. I'm thirsty. Yo, my man Cowboy shit is the GOAT. He wrecked shop and then left. So I thought it was all great. And then, so they were showing it. So you saw the inner circle on the Titantron the whole time. And then after, when the inner circle left, the elite was printed in the
goal zone,
touchdown
end zone.
Yeah, the end zone. Yeah, the elite was printed in the end zone. And But when what they were talking about, they said they're going to have this match where it can end anywhere, but they said it's a 10-man tag. So how, if the match can end anywhere, is it really a tag?
Very
Or
confused.
is it just,
Tornado tag.
yeah, but like, is it what, first pin wins?
Yeah, elimination or first pin. They
Probably.
didn't.
Yeah, is it, yeah. Like, they should have had
That's
this
true,
shit,
yeah.
like, they should have had this shit kind of like, let's be honest, they should have had this shit like a Survivor Series thing. Like, if you get pinned, you're just out of the match. Like, let them pin it anywhere. But if you get pinned, elimination, you're out of the match. And then that way, I would feel like even if it's 5-on-5 at beginning in the ring, you fight anywhere, you go anywhere, have like a ref, maybe even 2 refs. Some guy gets pinned over in the corner, he's out of the match. So then it's 5-on-4, it's 3-on-4, it's 2-on-1, 1-on-2, like whatever. I think that would have been a better build-up versus you're just gonna have all 10 of these guys fight, which is definitely gonna spill everywhere in the arena. Who's gonna take the pin? Who's gonna take the loss? Who's gonna? It's just way too.
Well,
just way too.
that and I'm also interested on the placement. Like, where is this gonna fall on the card?
Yeah, it's
Semi-main
probably
for
gonna be.
sure.
It's got to be right before the main event because they're hyping the main event as Brody versus Mox.
I guess so. Well, I guess we'll see. But hey, guys, thank you very much for your time. We're gonna save the predictions for tomorrow because I actually do gotta go get dinner. I didn't know I was gonna keep you guys here over 3 hours. My bad.
Dinner.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Go ahead and plug your podcast, Brett.
Oh yeah, I have a podcast. That's right. So yeah, if you wanna just listen to me host a podcast and just kind of shoot some shit with some of my buddies, some of my buddies from high school and some buddies from college, you can find that. The link to the podcast itself is in my Instagram, which is at the great brettzky 99, as I hope you know by now. But there's also the Instagram for my podcast. The link to that is in my Instagram bio, but it's also at thefauxpod.cast. I'll just spell it out because people might not know. It's THEFAUXPOD.CAST. Yeah, basically just me shooting some shit with some friends of mine. Very chill, very laid back. It's on right now. It's on Spotify and Anchor. I'm working on getting it up on Apple and Google Podcasts as well. So hopefully we can get that in the future.
Well, hopefully you have me and Ceizar on as one of your guests. Maybe one of these days. We'll see.
Don't you worry. I'm getting some college out of the way so I can get my my viewership, my listenership up, and then I got the Still Real Boys. Don't worry.
Oh, Ceizar is gonna bring them views. He brings the heat.
Oh yeah.
Ceizar, what do you got to say, my man? Take us home.
I got nothing except I saw that Joe Rogan sold his podcast for over $100 million to Spotify today.
Holy shit.
Posted on my story. So yeah, my dumb ass might start one of these janks. I left it up to the people on my Instagram story to come up with a title, but I think I do. I think I do have a title in mind. I'll probably do like a Brettzky podcast, depending on who I call. We'll just shoot the shit, everyday life. Maybe it'd be around living the life, drinking, having a good time, partying, dumb stories. I don't know what it's gonna be.
Contenders, Ceizar. What are the top contenders so far that the people have sent you for time?
Hold on. So since my name is Julius Ceizar, my boy did send me some shit like lend me your ears. Since it is a podcast, and you do have to listen.
Nice.
That did sound great. And I was trying to think of like lend me your livers or something if it's a drinking podcast, but we can't just talk about drinking all the time. But I do like the lend me your ears. Yeah, it is my show, but I do like the lend me your ears phrase, and that always brings somebody in. And so yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. This podcast shit is the wave of the future. Why not join on with everybody else? We can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be just about wrestling or your life or whatever. We can talk about dumb shit on the news you saw or a meme you saw on the internet that you laugh about. So I may think about working something out. Of course, I would invite the Steel Real guys to chop it up with me on the podcast at first. But yeah, that's all I got going on right now.
Well, hey, if a tech-tarded guy like me can start my own stupid show, anybody can. So good luck, boys, on your future endeavors.
Oh, don't give me that bullshit right there. Don't you Don't you dare end this podcast by future endeavoring me.
Yeah, the sad part is this motherfucker said dinner, and he knew this shit was going to be 3 hours. Bitch, when do we not go 3 hours? Fuck out of here.
Well, the reason why I said that is because you know how we like to wax poetic on predictions, and the predictions are, I gotta be honest, are my favorite shows. When we get together and make pay-per-view predictions, it's some of the most entertaining shit. Ceizar with his fucking Fiend scenario that one time, and Brettzky, he drops the knowledge on us and always impresses
Right,
us.
I had my quarter ready too, man. I had the quarter all ready.
Well,
Man, now I got to put
shine
this
that
bitch back in the
quarter up.
drawer.
Shine that quarter up real
Man, you
nice,
gotta send me.
turn it sideways.
You gotta send me that quarter.
And get
Yeah, I
it
will.
ready for
I'll mail it to you. I'll mail it to you right after predictions. I'll mail it to you.
Are you guys good with
Perfect.
Are you guys good with the same time tomorrow? Or you guys got plans?
Tomorrow, 8 p.m. for Eastern.
Yeah.
I should.
SmackDown
I'll let you
will be
know,
on.
but I should be good.
We could switch
Yeah.
it to the daytime if you don't have class.
I don't have class, but I don't know how late I'm going to be sleeping. So,
Oh,
I mean,
True.
I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a tag. I should be free tomorrow night, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, I should be free by 8. Yeah, maybe I'll just throw a record on for SmackDown, or I'll just have it in the background and say some random shit while we're recording. But yeah, I should be good.
well, thank you guys. We did it. We made it through the first tripod sessions. Over 3 hours for the people. We bring the content. Someone's got to do it because the Steel Real Boys are still on that hiatus.
Still on some fuck shit. Sounds about.
I wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors, to be honest.
Yeah. There we go. Good luck to you guys, gents. Good luck to you, gents.
Well, thank you, everybody who listened. Thank you, Ceizar. Thank you, Brett, for your time. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, all hail the Tripod Sessions.